She already heard. She already heard. Bust. She already heard. She already heard. Bust. Play. She already heard. She already heard.
Hey, yo, where everybody at in this mug? You hurt? What up? Know what I mean? Pushing for keys, Brownstone Powwow, you understand? Yo, hit that link, bro. If y'all wanna, chat with your boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm making another announcement because I think people must have forgot. So, um, shout out to people in my chat. The Cynical One, Exiled, so far. Um, Yo, I don't even know where to begin. Just had a panel earlier today, this morning to the afternoon. I just got done taking my motherfucking nap, so I'm just like, I just woke up and I promised y'all I was gonna do another pushing. I was gonna do another. Ain't forgot. Nobody forgot. We here. Oh, Lid, we in the building. You heard? I don't even know what the topic was before that. Yeah, two shows. We in the building, man. We in the building. Nah. So I just, when you take that good ass nap and you feel refreshed as fuck, like that's how I feel right now. I just woke up. I was like, damn, that feels good. You know what I mean? A lazy ass Sunday. I don't feel like really doing shit. You know what I mean? I was just like, let me run 2 panels today. That's amazing. Just to basically make up for like the days that I didn't do it. Because y'all know it's scheduled for right now. Brownstone Powwow is from Thursday to Sunday. So within those days, you usually can find a Brownstone Powwow. But the people counter on YouTube is broken. May, what do you mean by that? I want to know what you mean by that when you say that. You know what I mean? Is it the link pen? I just want to make sure if I got it on there. Yeah, you got to explain that, man. Because, man, you had a live stream on that, and I seen the thumbnail, but I didn't watch it. Because I didn't get the chance to. But I was just like, you were saying something about the counter on YouTube is broken. So what does that mean? Like, is it non-creativeness or some shit? I'm just trying to, if that is the case, that is true. But I just want to know what you mean when you say that. You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me check something real quick. All right, we in the building. All right. Yeah, we straight. Damn, where the fuck was we talking about last time? It will say you have one person watching it, but there are more people are watching than that. Well, that's the thing though, man. Like, this is the thing I'm not understanding about YouTube. What's very confusing about this platform, and obviously this is coming from a third-party platform because StreamYard is a third-party platform or whatever. The problem that I'm having with YouTube is, yeah, they'll sit up there and fixate the numbers and make it seem like you don't have many people watching it, but then it'd be like activity and all that other stuff in the chat, and it's just like, nah, there's no way you're gonna tell me like only zero people watching or 1 people is watching. Like, no. It's probably like maybe like 4 or 5 or 10 people watching, and you only telling me that it's like 1 or 2 people watching. That's cap. And then on YouTube, you know what's really wrong with YouTube too? Like, I thought the point is for the YouTube algorithm, the more content you put out, the more that they're going to push your content. So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, let's just say, for instance, I put out a video today, right? I put out 2 videos. What's annoying to me is I'll put out the 2 videos, and then all of a sudden I lose subscribers for posting the videos. I never understood that. Like, why does YouTube do that? Like, am I not supposed to post content? Because I thought that was the whole point. Like, I'm supposed to post content so that people can watch it. Yeah, I know it says 1. It's all right. But, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, it'll say, oh, 1 person watching, da-da-da-da, but then there might be another person watching, or 2 people watching this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just be like, yeah, YouTube, I don't know. Their whole algorithm, their whole thing is messed up. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what YouTube be on my ass about. If I play some copyright music, they will sit up there and be like, copyright, so fast. But when it comes to the numbers of what's on YouTube, it's not like they really know. Like, it just be like, oh, well, 1 person watching. When it be like 2, 3 other people watching. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube, right? At this moment, I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube. Because obviously meeting y'all is fun. And having these convos is fun. Doing this powwow is fun. But then at the same time, I be feeling like YouTube be on some bullshit. And it just be like, why you want to show a dude love? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, help me get these numbers up, YouTube. Like, that's the whole point of me using this platform. Help me get my numbers up. I want to spread more awareness and more fun to people who's going to watch the Brownstone Powwow. You understand? That's what this is all about. But, yeah, I don't know. I wish I could speak to some YouTube representative or this, that, and the third to see what the fuck is going on. Because this shit crazy. I've been at it for fucking 4 years. They ain't showed me no respect yet. Like, how you have my numbers sitting on 100 when you know that shit deserves 1,000, kid? You know these motherfucking hard work ass videos you hurt. You know what I mean? Shout out to Xiled too. I know you probably emailed me about something. I got it late, so I was just like, damn. I fucking forgot that shit, bro. My fault, son. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I just gotta make the announcements for newcomers that's in the chat and for people out there listening who didn't get a chance to hear it. So, real quick, announcement. I am going to have the Brownstone Powwow 4th anniversary on Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and that's PM, not AM. Of course, I just be wild the fuck out. I never like doing morning streams. I don't really like doing morning streams like that. I like to do, you know, evening and night streams, right? So mark that on your calendar. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, April 2nd, 2025 is the 4th anniversary of the Brownstone Powwow. You're going to be able to imitate Bronzebird. If you hit this link that day, you have to imitate me, okay? You have to mimic me. Get me in my fifis. That's the whole point about this shit, you heard? You know what I mean? And we're going to have a pre-party on Tuesday, I think around the same time, 7:30 p.m. So on Tuesday, we're going to have a pre-party. I'm going to try to push for that. I'm going to try my best. If I'm not busy on Tuesday, I don't think I am. But, yeah, I just want to celebrate the 4th anniversary of this shit. You know what I'm saying? 4 to 5 years on YouTube. I don't have no plans on stopping. Might be here for another 5 years, another 6 before I hang it up. Got some more stuff in store for my channel. Yeah, there's gonna be a second channel. There's gonna be extension of the platforms. I have some great ideas for the channel, dog. Like some real shit. And I want to do some interviews with people. I want to be able to, you know, talk some shit. You know, obviously put up my content, you know, stuff like that. Like real shit, man. It's just, I'm grateful, dog. I'm grateful. So make sure y'all mark that on that calendar. It's really important to me. Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, Brownstone Powwow 4th anniversary. You heard? And yeah, we're gonna make a movie. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be a movie. You heard? So yeah, man. That's it. I'm like lost in translation. Where y'all asses at? God damn it. I sat out there and ran this goddamn stream up looking for y'all. You understand? Oh, man. So, I gotta figure out what else is there to run down on. Hold up, y'all. Let me just get something straight real quick. Oh yeah, and if I didn't get the chance, because this one is gonna stay on, I don't care if it's like 30 minutes to an hour, and give it like 15 more minutes to see who's gonna come up. What was I gonna say? YouTube's been bugging lately. What about YouTube? Let me share this stream on my little channel. I bet. All right, so Cynical One says YouTube's been bugging lately. Yeah, it has. You see, this is a problem. If you look at this is a problem with what I see on YouTube, besides the live, right? So the problem is that when they take the data from when you post a video, it'll say the count for what is it there. But if you check your studios, it'd be more numbers in the studio than it'd be when you post a video. So I'm looking at that and I'm just sitting back like, what's going on with that? Because I'm trying to understand that for the life of me. Like, why is it doing that? You feel what I'm saying? Fucker. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've been on this app for so long. I've been dealing with the bullshit that I've been dealing with. Plus, StreamYard is getting more expensive, but I feel like if it's gonna be expensive like that, get a bang for your buck, bro. And I ain't saying that StreamYard is not good. StreamYard is good, but this fare hike, this inflation on StreamYard is crazy. Maybe you're paying like $50 for fucking StreamYard, and it's like, well, do I want to deal with Restream? Do I want to deal with that? And then with YouTube, I don't know. I've been, this app, like, first of all, let's get something straight here. I've been on this app, not Bronzebird, of course, but I've been on this app since the first day YouTube came out. You feel me? I was there, and things was obviously totally different. They didn't give a shit about copyrights back then. You just post a video, whatever you want. Obviously, the content or the complexity of the videos, like the quality of the videos was more plexelated and stuff like that because it was back in 2005, 2006. So, you know, you get your cameras, this, that, and third, and blah, blah, blah. So I've gotten to see the literal grow up of YouTube from 2005 all the way till now. And it's amazing. I'm a fucking YouTube head. I think I need to stop. It drives me crazy on how much I'm always on YouTube. I never stopped it. Like, you get to live an extraordinary life as someone who's just on YouTube all the time since the first day it came out. And my computer teacher introduced me to YouTube. That's facts. Introduced me to YouTube. I was like, oh shit, what is this? You can make videos on this? I'm trying to think about the first upload I ever made on YouTube. That was in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did my first upload in 2010. And I think that was around the time when I was like rapping. I ain't telling y'all my name either as an artist, but I fucking took a beat that I saw on YouTube, cut it up, and then I did a rap off that. You know what I mean? And then after that, I forgot what the fuck I did. I tried to do some more stuff on YouTube, but then I was just like, you know what I mean? And then push comes to shove, 10 years later, I just started this YouTube page, you know what I mean? And let shit go from there. I don't care, but I lose people all the time because I talk reckless. I say racist and anti-rainbow stuff, and they go, oh, well. But that's the thing, though, man. The problem with this fucking app that I see is that I hate how they try to ban you from saying certain words, right? It's supposed to be a free speech platform. So if I say the F word, I guess I get shadow banned. You know what I mean? I guess I get shadow banned. If I say, what is it? You can't say fat now? You can't say that. That's another F word they say you can't say, right? And then, of course, you can't say the G word, and you can't do that. I mean, you can't say gay. And I'm like, look, listen, I ain't got the fucking time. I ain't got the time. Because I'm pretty sure that there's people out there that has their platforms, and they be cursing up a storm, they be swearing, and nobody cares. It's just a regular part of the conversation. So now I got to be aware of the things I say just because of certain words. Like, who's behind these motherfucking decisions? Like, there's a whole list of words you can and cannot say on YouTube. And that's why I said after a while, I stopped giving a fuck. I don't really like pausing people or pausing myself when you say what you say. And there's even dickheads who came on this platform and would literally deliberately say the words on my platform to get my shit shadow banned or non-monetized. And I said, you dumbass, I'm not even monetized. So by you doing that, that's not really doing anything. Now I'm going to find your old raps. Go ahead. Go ahead. Find my old raps, bro. Like, man. Yo, that was high school days, bro. Like, nah, high school, like, / like, about the college days back then when I did raps, bro. When you used to chop up a sample or you used to take the beat off of YouTube, you throw it up in your computer, your laptop, you know, your DAW. You know, I got an Apple computer, so I used to throw it up on GarageBand. You used to get the little mic from Best Buy, and you used to sit up there and write your bars, and then you would rap. You know what I mean? It's been a minute. I might show y'all some new fucking raps. I'm not a rapper, though. You know what I mean? I might show you some shit, y'all. You might get Bronzebird in his bag. You might spit some bars, you heard? You might do a cipher on the Brownstone Powwow. Because already certain people know that Bronzebird is talented as shit when it comes to the mic. You heard? You heard? You heard? Oh, man. Nah, it's been a while, dog. Like, that's when you was trying to figure out fucking rap careers. You like, yo, I wanna release a song on YouTube. I think that's before SoundCloud came out, if I'm not mistaken. Before SoundCloud came out, before Instagram, before all that shit. I'm going back in time. And, you know, yeah, you would just be like, yo, I'm going to rap. You know what I mean? Thank God for YouTube. Seriously. Thank God for YouTube. Seriously. Shout out to Culture Invasion Podcast. Yeah, but thank you to YouTube, man. Honestly, because I think I'm going to get into my sentimental bag right now. Where do I begin? Like, for instance, the whole streaming thing, meeting people and just like seeing how everything developed. It's fun to see history. It's been like what, 5 years since 2020? It's 2020 since 5 years, right? Came into this motherfucker in 2020. I was still trolling before I made an official YouTube Bronzebird account. And first of all, it wasn't even Bronzebird back then. Anybody who knows Bronzebird, if y'all know Bronzebird and y'all day ones, y'all know that my name was not originally Bronzebird. It was Brownbird. And then I tell y'all all the time about the history about why I changed it to Bronzebird and all this shit. We didn't sit out there and watch content creators during the pandemic. And then, you know, talk on all this red pill shit, high value man, the era and that, and like people having a conversation about who these content creators are on YouTube. I find it amazing. I'm just really saying that. Like, you would want to tune in and you'd be like, yo, who's making a stream? Who's going live? This, that, and the third. Yo, who got the Zoom? Who got the StreamYard? Like, we about to go on live right now. And this is when the birth of Bronzebird, the troll, came along. When I got easy, I was ready. I used to go up on people's stream and just say dumb shit. And this is when I started to learn the art of being in troll gang. You understand what I'm saying? When I sat up there and I said, yo, I got to troll these motherfuckers real quick. You understand? Oh, look who it is. Angel Charms with her Southern Belle self. You go, girl. What's up, Angel Charms? Long time no see with you. Shout out to Angel Charms. I remember when we first met. I remember... I know I'm saying random stories. I'm just chatting. Yo, I remember the first time I met Angel Charms. I think it was on Miss Elite's platform. And I said, who the fuck is this lady, yo? This lady got so much hatred and so much da-da-da-da-da. And then when I started to get to know Angel Charms, I said, that lady is a Southern Belle. I said, goddamn. I said, it's like Angel Charms is one of the many reasons I started to like Southern women. I said, goddamn, Angel Charms is somebody, you heard? Oh, man. But it's been a ride, though. You feel what I'm saying? You're right. And you know, I know you probably don't want to bring it up, but I remember the story about you and the dude or whatever, and that shit was wild, and that whole era with what the fuck is that chick's name? The fucking weirdo, the one that's like an anti-divestment. You better stop. Look, listen. You stop calling me handsome, right? I don't feel like cheesing today. I'm trying to keep it cool, you heard? God damn, I'm trying to keep it cool. Don't be trying to call me handsome out here. Sitting up there blushing behind this motherfucking avatar. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. I mean, yeah, the history in that. Angel Charms never went to, what's his name platform? You wasn't there. We used to spend that time on Elite's platform just going back and forth. Man, yo, I miss those trolling days, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Like, seriously. But, yeah, I don't know. Just in my head, I'm just thinking of some stuff. Like I said, I don't know. I'm going to give it like, let's see. Maybe another 10 minutes and then I'm going to dip out. Yeah, I miss them days too. Like, them, like, yo, it used to be mad shit. And I remember, what's his name had an interview. You know who I'm talking about, Angel Charms. and he had the interview, and you was explaining your case, and he was explaining his case. And I remember we was trying to get to the bottom of why he started sitting up there saying the N word and all this other stuff. And I said, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then we became cool. I remember that stream. We all became cool and shit. God damn. Like, yo, I used to be outside of my phone trolling motherfuckers, yo. That used to be fun as shit. Yes, Dan. What the fuck happened to that dude? I remember for a minute. Yo, Dan. Yo, yeah, Dan. I think that's his dude name, Dan. Fuck happened to that guy? Yo, Dan, he was trying to say, yo, I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. I was like, but why you saying the N-word when you was around Crystal Swirls? Why you said that? Oh, well, he's not in people's chats no more. I don't watch Miss Elite's channel, so I wouldn't know. But I guess he's not really around on panels no more. I wouldn't know. Dubai? What the fuck is he? If that's the case, Dubai? Oh, he got money. Homeboy got money. I feel that. Oh, he got money? Like that? See, you know what I hate about that? I'm going to keep it 100% honest about it. I think after you heard so many cases, if he is going to Dubai, right? I've heard so many cases about people who talk about, oh, yo, this is what they do in Dubai. They do disgusting shit. That's exactly what I was going to get to, Culture Invasion Podcast. That's exactly what I was going to get to. So, if you hear all these stories about what they did in Dubai and all these IG thoughts, and you know what I'm saying, be going out there, you know, they be like, yeah, I went to Dubai. You could never. And then they be talking about how they have those Middle Eastern guys that be pooping on them and this, that, and the third. They get paid $50,000 and all this shit. And it just be like, it's bad because that's the first thing that's in my head about Dubai. Where I'm just like, I don't want to do that if I go to Dubai. I know a friend who went to Dubai to sell his artwork. And obviously he never he never came across that shit. But it's like, I want to go to Dubai because I want to go to Dubai. It's just some random city that they're bringing up, all these artificial fucking sand lands and all that shit. You know what I mean? But then it's just like you think about the poop. So when I hear somebody is an IG model, an IG thought on an OnlyFans model, and she said I'm getting invited out to Dubai, the first thing I be thinking in my head, I be thinking about like, yo, you gonna get shitted on while you out there, kid? Because that shit is bad, bro. That shit is bad. Let's say, last week they found a Ukrainian girl on the road broken, pooped on, barely alive, still in the hospital. All her limbs busted. Good old Dubai. I mean, damn. Right. I had to stop for a second and just look at it. I was like, damn. Shit. That's real. I don't know what else to say. So this is the thing. I think what it is because you have the westernized culture, aka us, that go to Dubai. I think the residents of Dubai take advantage of that, and they'll treat the Americans like shit, literally, because their culture is different. You have westernized people going to Dubai and they're not wearing the hijabs. They're not doing all the different things like the Middle Eastern women would wear because they're from the West. You know what I'm saying? So that's going on, man. I mean, that's fucked up that happened to that Ukrainian girl, though. But I would want to go to Dubai just because I like the way it looks, the architecture and all that other shit. But it just be like, bruh. I mean, obviously, I'm a man, so who the fuck they gonna try to they ain't gonna shit on me. And that won't happen. So, fuck that. So, it says, CS trying to save her home, stay out of jail. She's a failure. She's like, Crystal Swirls at most is comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole entire back and forth, like, fuck black men, fuck you black men, this, that, and the third. I never really got... Like, I've always thought about it as comedy because it's just like you talk so much shit on black men and talk about how black men don't have this, black men don't have that. You have a video of you sitting up there having an interview with a black man. Save me the bullshit, bro. Then on top of that, It's like the fact of the matter, people is finding out your information. You don't take care of your son, and then you got all this shit that's going on with you and stuff like that. It's like, bruh, like, Crystal Swirl is a walking L. That's why when y'all used to, yeah, it's comedic as fuck. Because when y'all used to sit up there and, you know, have y'all commentary on her, I used to sit back and laugh. Because I'm like, these black women that be coming at black men's top sometimes, a lot of them be broke down, unattractive, and they got the nerve to sit up there and talk down on black men like we are not the cream of the crop sometimes. And not to say we don't have our bullshit. We do. We have our bullshit. Without a shadow of a doubt. We have our bullshit. Just like I can't stand the black men. What's up, N Muscular? Just like I can't stand the black men that sometimes be dirty as fuck. And they be like, oh, black women, and this, that, and the third. I'd be like, bruh, you don't even have your life together. And you're sitting here talking shit on black women. Vice versa. Black women talking shit on black men. Crystal Swirl's an example of that shit. Like, you a whole clown. You a whole goofy. A whole bozo. You understand? Yes, it does goes both ways. But that's why I said when I was on this platform, when I first started off, Angel Charms can attest to this. I used to always keep going back and forth about that shit. Right? And what I realized was I'm not going to waste time trying to argue with a black woman about how she don't like a black man. Now peep this. Because I think at the end of the day, when I had this discussion, it was a fucking cap. So let's take it down. And yes, I'm going to name names. They're not here anymore. And it's not about me uplifting them or this subtle attraction. I'm just trying to tell you what I remember. I remember it was a Trump supporter. Way before he got into office this time. I'm talking probably 2022, 2023. It had to be, 2021, 2022. So sometime during the pandemic. It used to be this black girl, this black woman, dark-skinned black girl. And she used to talk about how black men aren't worth anything. We ain't shit. We da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Y'all remember Jessica X. We remember that. Her dearly departed, the fucking Mary Poppins with the British voice girl, right? And I remember, quite frankly, one day that woman, that's an alt-right black woman that hates black men, went to Jessica X's platform. I went on there to troll that bitch. And when I went on there to troll that bitch, I sat back and I said, well, you seem heavily invested in talking shit about black men, and you say you don't care about black men, so why the fuck are you here? Because it's hurting my little sister. I said, wait a minute. So you decided to spark shit with some fucking mixed girl from the fucking UK who obviously is attracted to black men. Who gives a fuck, right? To sit here and say the only reason you want to talk down on black men on this platform is because it's hurting your little sister, as if your little sister does not have a mind of her own. Are you fucking kidding me? And then after that, I just was like, it's better that I start watching and I stop trying to troll, because a lot of these like black men haters that are black women wind up being in a black man's channel. That's facts. That's facts. I'm never lying about that shit, bro. Like, a lot of the times these women that sit up there say, I don't like black men. Y'all don't want y'all. Y'all don't deserve shit. Y'all don't do. Y'all, they wind up sitting up there watching a black man's platform. As long as it's that goofy motherfucking black men that'll sit up there and say, oh, you know, stop disrespecting black women, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting up there thinking in the back of my head, like, if you can't stand black men, why the fuck you on a black man's platform, you fucking bozo? That shit don't even make sense. And then he be sitting up there like, yeah, the black woman deserves better. Go date outside your race, queen. Blah, blah. It's like, nigga, they talking about you too, goofy. like that shit kill me. That's the reason I have a problem with dudes like DJ Touch Dick and fucking and dudes like Alexander Brandon, because they're fucking hoes. Dudes that sit up there and talk about the black man needs to be held accountable and all this goofy shit. It's like, nigga, they talking about you too. So you decided to be a pit bull for these reckless women that sit up there and say all this shit because you think you're going to get some brownie points? And I swear, these black men haters that are black men as well, I feel like they're fucking incels. They don't get out much. They don't have no women in their life. They've been completely single probably for the last 10 years and have not dealt with a woman. Whether that been their own race or it's been somebody else. All they do is throw black men under the bus and cap for women. Yes, they do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. I know some people be coming at my head tops. They be like, yo, Bronzebird, you don't like black women. I say, you fucking crazy. I love me a chocolate woman. Fuck you talking about. Just because I come on these platforms and I'm putting these chicks in check don't mean I don't like black women. Yo, it's about me getting at these punk ass dudes that's in a sister. I can give a shit about the women saying, because the women is going to say what they going to say. It is just like, if you going to have hatred for the same race, stand your ground. Don't go on black men's platform, even if they're on your team. Don't go on their platform. Show that you feel a type of way about you not liking black men. And it's like, it's really crazy because you would never, you know what's really crazy to me? It's literally crazy to me to really feel like, yo, we live in an era that when we talk about a quote unquote gender war, this shit is literally from YouTube. If I go outside right now, I have a feeling that there are not going to really be black women that's going to be sitting up there looking at me like, I hate this black man. Fuck this black man. He don't love his mother. Like, I swear, I really be feeling like this gender war shit is literally YouTube. This is not real life, bro. Like, this is not something that's literally like real life, bro. Like, it's driving me crazy. And I'm just like, yo, yeah, keep the same energy. That's the reason I can't stand half of these people that's on YouTube, because they're so full of shit. And they'll sit there and say, oh, we don't like this and we don't like that. It's like, stand your fucking ground. So if you don't like black men, then don't go on any platforms. Duh. I've seen people spout out gender warring shit offline. Okay, but where though? I'm like, I'm in New York City. I mean, I've seen podcasts where they've had the gender war topics, but usually they get along. But I haven't seen, maybe it's just me, but I haven't really seen me like offline deal with someone that say that they don't want to date a black man. Probably like once in my life, but not literally saying like, fuck black men, you black men ain't shit and blah, 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 like being a coon. But it's mainly YouTube I heard this shit. I've heard black dudes state that they can't stand black bitches. And this is the ironic part. People that sit up there and say, Bronzebird, you hate black women. I said, no. It's not that I hate black women. I can't stand bitches. And bitches is universal. Because I can talk about anybody when it comes to bitches. Yeah, I can't stand bitches. I can't. I don't feel like dealing with them. I don't feel like having a conversation with them. I feel like trolling them. Yes, I'll troll them. Sure. I have no problem like trolling a black bitch. I don't even like, it sounds disgusting to say that. A black bitch. I just say I can't stand bitches. Okay? I can't stand bitches. All right? Black bitches and black women are not the same thing. They're not. Like, take that goofy shit somewhere, my dude. I don't want to be sitting up there hearing your hatred towards black men. Why the fuck you sucking the air out this beautiful fucking place we in right now? And then the people who get on my fucking nerves are the ones that feel like it's their obligation to fucking try to correct black men. Oh, you notice I'm putting the mirror to you black men's head like, y'all say this and y'all say that. See, y'all don't want to be held accountable. Well, was you holding me accountable? Shut the fuck up. You understand? The fuck up with that goofy shit. What's up, Alyza? Thank you for
What's
tuning
up?
in to my TED Talks.
Oh, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you, sis.
Oh my God. So look, I ain't gonna hold you. I was sitting here napping and Exile called me. He was like, well, baby, I'm almost home. So I was like, all right, well, my work day is already over because it ends way earlier. But I didn't sat there and took a nap. I wake up, I'm sitting here and, doing some nerdy shit on my end. It's a big project. I'll break it down to you later once I'm done with it. But I sat there and I looked. I said, hold on. He gave me a link. Who is this link to? All right. I'm going to sit there and roll the fucking dice and see who it's a link to. I was like, oh, bronze. Okay,
That's
let's see.
right. That's
Because
right.
I was about to see if I was going to have to cut somebody out or what I was going to have to do.
But you know what happened, Alyza? You should have.
Yeah.
Damn, if I would have got the link yesterday, right? So I don't know if you know. Do you know Psych Terror's Awaken?
No.
Okay, so it's this dude that do tarot readings, but he's been doing panels lately, right? So I trolled the
Mhm.
shit out of this. A lot of dudes is saying that it's a dude, right? But apparently this is a woman. I made some girl flirty diamond cry yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Like fucking twice.
I mean, look, here's my thing. We are going to learn to stop fucking with us. This is what we do.
This is what we do. And this is the thing they don't understand. Like we are used to this shit. It's wrong to go against someone who's A, disrespectful, and B, is a troll.
Facts.
What are you doing? Like Eliza, this is how it fucking started off. They
Okay.
started talking sexual to me, right? That
Oh,
I assume this chick, Flirty Diamond, is a prostitute. Like she's working the streets, she's doing
oh,
whatever,
you
and
should
got an
have called
OnlyFans.
me. Oh God, you should have called me. Keep going, little bro. Keep going.
Listen, yeah, if like, all right, I'm not gonna lie. If I find a link, like if we end the live stream early tonight or whatever, however long it goes, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it and see if he's online. If he's live and that chick comes on there, I'm gonna email you, and I'm back on Discord too. I'm gonna
Let
email
me
you.
at him. Let me at him.
We gonna go up in there and we gonna do our thing. Cause I'm like,
Man.
yes, they couldn't stand my ass yesterday because I fucking trolled her.
Oh my God.
He started crying. It was like, that's fucked up, Bronzebird. And started calling me a pedo and all this random shit. I said, so when you lose a battle, the first thing you like to do is call someone a pedo. Okay.
Somebody in a fifi.
And they
Somebody in a
fifis.
fifis.
All in they fifis. And yeah, we just trolled
Bro.
the shit out of him yesterday. Oh yeah, Eliza, I meant to say, thank you for coming up on that TPP platform.
Yeah, because
Again,
I was
that
about to
Harry.
tell you about that. Oh my God. That shit it was wild and fucking hilarious. Now, mind you, Bronze, as long as you've known me,
hmm
how many times have I sat there and said, I don't troll people? Why? It's not because I can't, it's because I don't have to.
Right.
I said, look, I present in such a way that motherfuckers will troll for me. Okay? They will designate themselves as the honorary trolls on behalf of Alyza. So, mind you, TPP, whole
hmm
nother place, whole new place. They sat there and said a couple of things because you know me, I'm not gonna lie. They don't nobody pay me enough, or I don't give a fuck about nobody enough to lie. So I just sit there and put a few truths out there. Did you hear that shit,
I didn't even get the chance. I think he put that live on membership. So I didn't
bro?
even, I snuck back in to see what was said, and all I know is Harry was getting at you. He says, "All right, well, tell me why your little brother tell me why your little brother is gay bird. Why is he gay?" And you said, why are you talking about? Why are you concerned about another man and what he does?" That's
Right?
what I heard about that shit with Harry, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Harry says the same shit all the time.
Oh, he kept trying to come at me, and that shit was funny because it got to the point where everybody else sat there and started attacking him. I'm sitting here like, yeah. Once again, the whole there was one dude, oh my God, don't play until I'm like, bro. I mean, it's funny because it's almost like, okay, so this dude just got the cheat code to trolling. And he's so excited because he got to give everybody the juice, right?
hmm
I'm sitting here like, bro, this ain't my first rodeo. And last time I checked, baby, I was buck breaking before buck breaking was an actual thing.
You heard?
Okay. So I didn't say that because that was very, very racist. But So this dude, oh my God, you're feeding it to him. You're giving him attention. I'm sitting here like, bro, the way you sit here and talking about, dude, ain't that doing the same fucking thing? And you ain't shut up the entire fucking time. I end up going, well, not really going after him, but gently educating him on the level of and how powerful shut the fuck up truly is. And you know, that there's this little button that's called mute. Oh, baby, that saves friendships, that saves lives. He should use it. Um, and then when we got to the point where oh boy was sitting here and trying to troll, I said, my whole thing is, you know, old dude can sit there and say whatever the fuck he want to say. I don't give a shit. I mean, obviously, bro, if you on here enough to sit there and be mad at somebody you don't know because you can't handle they little brother, he don't understand the way the black community works. Because usually, from what I understand, is if your little brother got a problem, you call on your big sis. Your big sis handles that shit. Oh my God, you know, your little brother is a fag. Well, why you worried about a fag then? You mad because you can't that he don't want to give you the dick? Is that it?
Right. And I'll be saying that, I'll be like, yo, bro, if you say like why are you like my thing about it is you're gonna try to joke. Y'all be sitting up there talking about my dick, which is so gay. Like, why are you sitting up there asking me about really random shit? He's like, yeah, gay bird, and blah blah blah. You got that dude Apollo that says the most weirdest shit ever. He be
Yeah,
sitting up there saying, he's like, well, why don't you explain to us why you suck your own dick? And that's like, bro, why the fuck are you saying that to me? That's not even trolling. I really think you're gay for saying that. Because
I mean,
what man is gonna ask another man about his penis?
right. Well, I notice a lot of them are a certain how do I want to put this? They come from a certain diaspora
Oh yeah, they do.
of individuals. Because I mean, I sat there and I said, I was like, dude, if you gay, just say you gay. It's okay. People is coming out now. Not, you
Right.
know, it's not against nothing because well, you know, your brother gay. Well, sweetheart, he don't talk about you.
I
So
know.
if he is gay, you obviously not his type. He don't talk about you. I
Oh,
said, bro, I ain't never heard from, you know, I ain't never heard of you not once. And so if my brother is gay and you're not his type, why are you still sitting here and trying to wave your arms flamboyantly so this man will see you?
like, what you want us to do, bro? You think we gonna have a Greek orgy with you? Fuck
Right.
out of here. All right, hold your thought, Alyza. We
Mm-hmm.
got Truthzone and we got Bunny Brownie in the building. What's up, y'all?
My nigga Brownsburg, what's
Hey,
good? My nigga, what's good, my nigga? Shout
You
out to the
heard?
queen. Shout out to the queen on the panel. Salute to you.
Salute, salute, salute. What's
Salute,
up,
salute.
Brownie?
Yeah, for sure.
hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight? Can y'all hear me? My
Yeah,
We
we can hear
good.
audio
you. We
on
can hear you,
stream might
goddess.
be. All right. Thank you. How y'all doing tonight?
How you doing, Miss Brown? I'm good.
What's
Yeah.
We
up,
doing
fancy
wonderful.
I'm
lady?
well.
Hey, Brownsburg, I just want to tell you one thing. I came up here to tell you one thing, nigga, man.
What's
Stop,
up, bro?
stop battle rapping with the white girls, nigga. I heard you over there with that white girl battle rapping, nigga. Like, this nigga
Bro,
crazy.
nah, son, come on, son. I gotta do that because people gotta get cooked real quick, bro. Like, you can't come after the God and think that the
Oh,
God is
man.
not about to serve you, bro. You gotta
Right,
do
right.
it. You gotta, and it's only one. It's only one. And
That's
then
it,
you
nigga.
you go on there, you know that that chick is trash. You heard? Trash. Fucking
What?
trash. What else, Muscular? They're fucking trash. So I was like, look, listen, let me show you how I do this, son. You
Yeah, that shit is
do it like
crazy.
Jay Z. You gotta do it like the Jay Z sign. I show you how to do this, son.
I wouldn't even consider them. I wouldn't even consider them shit bars. That shit bars. That she was rapping. I'm like, man, this shit is straight garbage. Let me get the fuck out of here. So this nigga Brownsburg crazy. Let me get out of here, man.
Yo,
I
it's
said, shit.
easy work, bro. It's
But
easy
this shit
work. You
hot
gotta do
garbage,
it.
man. It's just,
It's easy work. This is easy. You heard?
for
So you
sure.
gotta do that. But yeah, I had to rap real quick. You know what I mean? It's nothing. And so then they try to do rap battles with everybody else. So I'm like, but they not nice like me though. You know what I
Right.
mean? I does this, son. But yeah, what you was trying to cipher over there or what?
Huh?
You was trying to cipher over there or what? You was just chilling.
Nah, I was in the bushes. I was gonna come up with like, I'll let that nigga have it. I ain't going up there. It's too weird up there right now. I said it's too weird. I said let me go somewhere else. I was cruising the YouTube streets.
I told Truthzone, I told Alyza, I just told Alyza, I said I trolled the fuck out of somebody last night so bad they started crying.
Dang, you did them dirty, man.
They got roasted, bro. They sat there and said, Bronzebird, you're such a gross person. Oh my God, you're a pedo. And they'd be like, they said, hey,
Shit.
bitch, lesson learned. Don't ever come at me or come at anybody. Again, you're fucking doing this with a troll. I admit that I'm a troll. So the thing about it is, you don't think I'm gonna start roasting you on general principle, you goofy? That's what
Right.
you get, you fucking dumbass. Don't be dumb. So you can't troll somebody sexually or whatever the fuck you're doing and thinking that that person is not gonna come back at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody was trolling you sexually.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they was trolling me sexually, talking about, oh yeah, just say you wanna fuck me, Bronzebird. You wanna fuck.
Man,
You wanna
hell
get
no. Who was saying
Ooh.
some fucking fat whore piece of shit named Flirty Diamond. And so, last night, what's his name?
Flirty
Sight Man.
Diamond. A man named
Yeah.
Flirty Diamond.
Well, we think Flirty Diamond is a man. Apparently, they keep saying they're a woman. But what happened last night is on that panel, it got so real. This chick named Jamie Rose caused Flirty Diamond to show her tits on stream, and they had to shut down the panel.
Oh wow.
I said,
That's
you
That's
have the
crazy.
chest. I said to her, I was like, you have the chest of a prepubescent boy.
emotional damage.
You saw the titties and you
Emotional
still can't confirm if it's a woman or not. Hold on. You saw titties and you still can't confirm whether it
Well,
was
look,
a woman or
hey,
not.
I think it's a dude,
hold
my
on,
nigga.
sis. Let's not act like we ain't seen a whole lot of niggas that got titties bigger than bitches. Come on. Okay, let's not do that.
You got some out there, obese motherfuckers. Yeah.
Got some
Right.
obese.
And they titties be hanging lower than mine, and I'm sitting real well. So hold on. And I didn't have plenty of kids to make sure them bitches grew. So hold on.
Yo, so I was
just
cutting
seen some
ass.
motherfuckers. Shit, the only thing you can do is have a cuddly night. You can't smash. You can barely eat. You gonna lose your meal in that shit. I just seen some wild shit. I'm just saying.
I sat up there and called that motherfucker a sumo wrestler, a Mexican construction worker, all that dumb shit just going off at the bat. And they was like, oh yeah, you like me. You want to subscribe to my OnlyFans? I said, hell no, I don't. You look sloppy, bitch. Are you fucking stupid? So yeah, that's the work that I had. That's the easy work that I did last night. I got a W. I'm so happy. It wasn't even a troll. And Alyza, it wasn't even a troll mission. I literally was just on
telling
a
you.
panel.
I'm telling you. See, now you know what I be going through, because I be up on people's panels. Look, you already know I'm not a troll, but then people want to come after me like they trolls, and I'm like, look, y'all don't know who I am, because baby, I don't troll. I hurt feelings. That's just because I tell the truth. You might as well call me Angel in this bitch. I tell the truth, and it's up to me to decide if I want to sit there and hold your hand, kiss your forehead, because I know it's gonna hurt, or whether I just want to sit there and bend you over and sit there and say, you know what, hey, keep playing with me. I got a butt plug for your ass.
Damn, god damn. I see you had my nigga Naga over here too. The last panel. Shout out to my nigga
Yeah,
Naga.
shout out to Nagajini. It was a dope
My
conversation.
nigga, man.
Yeah,
He be with rocking with me.
Yeah, he cool peoples, man. Like, but yeah, it's like this is the art. Look, I feel like you should say it like this. This is the art of war, but low key, it's just panels, right? You gotta understand your place. First of all, it was really fucking disturbing for you to sit up there and talk about how you're gonna inject a dildo into my anus. Like, that's just without a shot.
Another man was telling you this?
Fucking Flirty Diamond was saying this shit yesterday. Talking about why
Okay,
don't you
that's just nasty.
It's nasty. I said, I understand you're a prostitute, but like, don't sit here and say that to a man. You feel what I'm saying?
You probably do that to our clients, man. They on that freaky ass shit.
Yo,
all that freaky nut ass shit.
All right, do you want to know what was really disturbing last night on that stream after they had to basically take it down? So Flirty Diamond showed her fucking tits, he, she, whatever, and then you have this guy that's proudly saying that he's subscribed to her OnlyFans. And this dude is literally like, he stands up like he's about to pull down his pants and fucking jerk off on his stream.
Oh my God! See, you know what? It would have been good I wasn't there, because baby,
weirdo places, Brownie. I'm all over the place.
That's why I'm glad I don't be over there. Bro, that's why I don't be hanging around too many of these panels too long, because I see it's too many weirdos and dweebs. I said, oh, I can't be over here too long, man. You know, they weird as fuck over here, lame as fuck, lame little motherfucker over here. I ain't gonna be over here long. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Well, see, here's my thing. The first
Oh
thing
yeah.
is, as soon as she would have sat there and said something about OnlyFans, I would have had to hit her with the business aspect. Okay, ma'am, I understand that for you, advertising, is the best route, and I also understand that this ain't like selling dro on the street. You can't sit there and give somebody a first hit and expect them to sit there and want to subscribe. That's not how that works. Okay. First of all, if you sitting here showing me anything, all I have to do is bait you in a motherfucking panel and I can sit there and see whatever the fuck I want to see, you stupid broad. First of all. Secondly, okay, I'm glad you got your one subscriber. That's cool. Once again, no shade. That's cool. Everybody need a cheerleader every once in a while. But can you please sit there and tell your subscriber to sit down? If he's going to be a subscriber on OnlyFans, remind him that he is on camera so he cannot sit there and do what the fuck he does to your OnlyFans.
Right. Like,
I'm gonna need him to sit down. Okay, look here, Slim Shady. No, this ain't where you stand the fuck up. This is where you sit the fuck down. If you want to sit there and play with your little PD whacker, whatever, do that shit sitting down. We don't need to see that shit. Because guess who we didn't subscribe to? Yo ass.
Yo ass.
Exactly.
That shit is wild disturbing, son. And it's just like, what was you like, bro? Don't try to show us what you do in your spare time, son. Like, I mean, luckily he did it, but it's just like, bro, I'm not bragging to some bitch that I got on OnlyFans. And you like all up in that shit, fam. These niggas is weird, fam. Like, yo, I swear. Well, I went on a great ass trolling mission last night, and everybody started getting at me. They was like, "Oh, Bronzebird, you wrong, and I'm like, "Nah, man, you gotta put a bitch in her place. Sometimes you gotta be an asshole and tell these motherfuckers what's good. I give a fuck. You know what I mean? And every time I keep replaying it, I be laughing.
Bronzebird, you're doing it wrong, little bro. Remember.
Okay.
You related to me, okay? That means that you're a god and you're a king. We don't play with peasants for too long, okay? We are only amongst the town to sit there and see and overhear what the peasants need. So whenever they come with their offerings, we know what to sit there and satiate them temporarily. You don't sit there and play with the peasants. That's like literally having fucking royalty playing in the dirt. We're not allowed to, okay? Because that shit is contagious, all right? So okay, make sure whenever you were done with the live, you washed your hands, you washed your body. We don't need secondhand stink. Okay.
I love how you broke that down like that, though.
Like I'm just
get that dirtiness off of you.
Exactly. I mean, you can't come back into the palace being filthy. That is unheard of.
That's right. You know what, sis? You're right about that. You can't be doing that. You gotta. We're royalty out here. You can't do that.
And then they're trying to throw their peasant bosoms at you. Oh, wow. Bitch, cover that shit up. I mean, your shit is so whack that even if you covered it up with a boy t-shirt, you couldn't see that shit. Cover that shit up.
And like you're a whole slob.
Hot damn.
You're a whole slob. It's like you have like a whole ass fupa. And you're sitting up there trying to talk about I'm sexually attracted to you. Bitch, are you dumb?
No.
You ever bump into a sloppy bitch that thinks she's the shit and then be like, you want to fuck me. I said, no, I don't. Okay?
I'm pissing people off, but who was that fucking famous fat bitch? Who was it? Lizzo? Lizzo. Yep.
You heard? Like,
yep.
Hey, she lost weight, did she not?
I don't give a fuck if she lost weight or not. It's not really about your body, because I'm not even gonna hold you. I done seen some big bitches that look so goddamn sexy because they carry themselves fucking well and they know they a motherfucking goddess in these goddamn streets. Whenever you sitting here looking like the epitome of hood trash, as if that's what the fuck you dreamed of and that's what you aspired to be, and you hit your mark, bitch, fuck you. I don't give a fuck what your body look like, because I guarantee you every single time that bitch look in the mirror, she still see a fat slut. I bet you that. And you know what? Y'all can be mad that I said it. I really don't give a fuck. I mean, at the end of the day, I guarantee you that's what the fuck she sees. How do I know that? Because once again, I know other few ladies that have sat there and gotten lipo. I know a few ladies that have sat there and gotten work done. And once again, no shade to those ladies. But if you sit there and ask some of them that ain't always there in the head, they'll be the first ones to sit there and tell you every single time I look in the mirror, I don't see the new version. I see the old me. So if that's the case, I don't give a fuck if that bitch lost weight or not. Remember, you was looking like a goddamn Tonka truck and you was sitting here and trying to fool force that those poor threads that them poor children in China had to put together, knowing, baby, look, that shit was not gonna hold together. Whenever your outfit has to find a fucking religion just so we can hold itself together, there is a goddamn problem.
And the embarrassing part about it is, right, Xiled. Oh, and the embarrassing part about it is, like, you really thought it was fine to go to a basketball game with a whole long ass T-shirt with the ass cut out.
Right.
Like, was I looking at a skit from In Living Color? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Okay,
What's up here?
Let's be honest. Even with your clothes on, don't nobody want to smell nobody else fart. And you know, the bigger your ass is, the more juicier that shit gonna come out. I do not want to sit there and see no motherfucking outfit where you only got a shirt on and bitch your ass cheeks is out. That means that look, that motherfucking stank got more avenues to sit there and reach my nose.
Damn, smelling like dinosaur shit, right?
Exactly.
Smelling like straight dinosaur shit.
Exactly.
Yo, that's shit. I mean, goddamn, like, I don't even know, son. It's just really bad out here. You feel me? And you trying to advertise that? Like, come on, son. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm the cream of the crop. It's like, listen, I'm a man, so I can't speak on women when it comes to certain things. I can only speak from a man's perspective. But I feel like when it comes to women usually have to know by their size how to dress. Just like me, my body type, I know how I dress. So it's like, it's very distasteful if you like one of those SSBBWs out there and you sit up there trying to wear shit that skinny bitches wear. That's not your lane,
That ain't
sweetheart.
gonna work. You know, shout out to the SBBWs and the BBWs. Cause I got love for 'em. I love me a BBW, bro. I
Oh,
ain't even
I
gonna cap.
have no problem with
I ain't even gonna cap
Yeah.
that shit.
I
I
have
ain't
no
even
problem
yeah,
with a woman. I don't have no problem with a woman that looks good, take care of herself, and she's healthy. That's
for
all
sure.
I'm saying.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel that, like I said, I done seen some bad bitches. Oh my God, I done seen some women that I'm sitting here like, girl, look, I just want to follow you around just a little bit. You know what I mean? How
Right.
can I stalk you for a good 10 minutes? Just a little. I promise I ain't black. I'm incognito, baby. I hide in the bushes. I don't give a fuck.
As long
Let
as
me
they got
stalk
some
you
elegance,
a little
as long
bit.
as they got some elegance and some class, man.
Exactly, because that shit is sexy. But let's be honest, elegance and class are not two words that you would use in the description of Lizzo. Period. I
Nah,
don't give
hell
a fuck
no. Nah,
what
hell no. She
I don't
Taylor, that's
care
Taylor
who
Craig.
made what. I don't care how she wear it. I don't care if that bitch look anorexic and decides to sit there and have one piece of thread that happens to cover her whole body on this one day in history. Bitch, you will never. And it's not because of your body, it's because of your mind. Period. Like I said, I done seen some big girls. I done seen some BBWs that are sexy as shit. I mean, okay, I done seen some baddies. I done seen some that literally can sit there and wear a motherfucking take down black dress being BBW and all, and even the goddamn fufa look like it's sitting just motherfucking right, and all that shit is edible, okay? I done sat there and seen it my goddamn self. But baby,
Mhm.
Lizzo, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself today, honey, if it is in a kid size, it is not for you. If it is in the athletic size,
It's not for
it
you.
is not for you. If it is in the size that says petite, small, it is not for you. The fact that I have to break this down is really, really sad because, like little bro said, women normally know what our body type is, two, what our weight is, three, not really the weight, but how your body type fits in clothes. Okay, we a lot of times women tend to internalize things. So if you know you looking a hot mess trash out here, bitch, there are mirrors. You were so fucking rich, you gonna sit there and tell me your big ass ain't past the motherfucking mirror. And I understand you might not be able to see all of yourself in one mirror. You might have to sit there and turn around, try to, go to the side. I get that. There's no shame in that.
No shame.
But bitch, you knew you was looking like a motherfucking a Mr. Potato Head that ate like 4 different of the other fucking potato head family, all trying to fit up in that dress. Girl, stop it.
And you know what's crazy too, because we was having discussions about this for like the last couple of years, right? Body positivity should be a fail. Like they every time they be like, oh yeah, you know I love my body. If you don't love my body, you don't love yourself. They be like, but half of the time you chicks that talk about this body positivity shit, y'all wind up losing weight. And then it
Right.
just be like, so why are you sitting up there trying to talk about like you should be proud of your body and shit like that when you ain't even proud of your body? You sitting up there
Exactly.
wearing the whole mask of the fucking world. So it's like, don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, son. Even a chick that sued fucking Lyft, no, sued the fucking Uber. What happened with that? Come to find out, she was there with the dietitian, and that dietitian sat up there and said that she has to get down to 300 pounds so that she is able to move around. Okay. Number
True.
two, that fact of the matter is with that shit, I think she just lost the case. I think
Hold on.
she lost the case. What's up, Exile?
Since hey baby, that's my husband. Well, since we're talking about
Nothing but
celebrities, hold on,
hey,
baby. I'm gonna sit there
hold
and
on,
say this
hey.
and I'm gonna get the floor. What's up?
All right, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
go ahead.
here's my thing. Okay, so my age, I remember back when Missy Elliott sat there and did um I Can't Stand the Rain video, and she did it in a trash bag, right? And even with that even with her doing it in a trash bag, she looked so goddamn good that she actually had motherfuckers making trash bag outfits because that's how dope she looked. And based off of her swag, you didn't look at her weight, you looked at her talent because she was bad as fuck. Then when it came to her face, baby, she was slave to the motherfucking gods. Period.
That's what I was about to say. For me, it's not so much about the woman weight, it's her fucking crash out thought culture. It wouldn't let me put that crash out thought in motherfucking chat. But I mean it's like her, Sexy Red, Cardi B. I can't find none of you bitches attractive because the way you carry yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
ain't no elegance in that shit. Walking around, pants unbuttoned, little ass shirt. Nah, fuck all that shit. That shit look like hot garbage. I'm good on that.
Hold
A lot of women try to mimic that shit too. I'm not saying all women, but
on. Mhm.
that influence is a motherfucker. That cultural influence, it's a motherfucker, man. It's mainly for like the younger generation, younger ladies to walk around looking like that, man. You know.
But see, here's my thing. Like I was sitting there saying, Missy Elliott. Now let me ask y'all, because she always been a big girl too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she honestly, I believe she lost weight, but I believe it was more of a of the industry, you know, that yeah, she said she had a disease and stuff like this. I'm not gonna hold you. I really don't believe she had a disease, but then again, I respect her and I love her. So I mean, it's neither here nor there if she had one. But whenever she chose to lose weight, I just want to emphasize some things that were done. One, she didn't have to sit there and tell that to the world. Because anytime anybody saw her, they saw her for her fucking accomplishments and her amazing fucking personality, right? They didn't sit there and see her for her weight. Not only that, but I want anybody to sit there and tell me back in the day who was talking motherfucking shit on Missy Elliott. I'll wait. Anyone?
I was a kid. I don't remember. Shit. I was like
I don't
10 years
remember
old when that shit.
nobody talking on Missy
I was
Elliott.
10 years
I was
old.
13.
Nobody.
Yeah,
I
But
was
I don't
13
remember.
when she started her career. She, I don't remember.
That's what I'm
that
saying. I was a little nigga. I ain't know nothing about it.
But see,
Yeah, I
here's
remember
my
that.
thing. Wasn't nobody talking shit on Missy. Missy was a big girl. Not only was she a big girl, but let's go according to the industry standards. She was big and dark skinned. So she already had a double whammy against her, right? This is one of the reasons that and I don't know if people noticed or not, but whenever she came on the scene, they actually had Sade cover a lot of her fucking vocals because they sat there and said, oh, the world isn't ready to see you as you. They're not ready to sit there and see a dark skinned heavy set girl. What did she do? She said, man, fuck y'all, eat my shorts. She sat there and kept making dope ass music. She kept making singing and shit. And matter of fact, even on motherfucking ladies' night, what did she say? Y'all ain't gonna have me out here just singing hooks like I ain't a motherfucking rapper. Did her thing. and was still in the motherfucking industry sitting there and making that thing do what it do, to where we still honor her as the motherfucking goddess she is. Now, Missy Elliott, baby, I'm following you like a goddamn puppy dog. Look, I just want to get one whiff of your motherfucking fart and I'll be happy in the rest of my goddamn life. Now, as far as Lizzo, baby, look, throw the whole bitch away. Y'all might have to use all of the motherfucking in quotation marks legals and illegals that they sat there and just deported. But baby, we get them all together and throw that big bitch out the window. I said what I said.
You heard? And that's
Yeah, at least you real with it. So she want to smell a fart. Shit, damn. I gotta respect it. You know, I respect you being 100.
Look, I just want to taste her bath water just one time. I don't even got to drink the whole thing. You just want to taste.
But you know what's really crazy to me? I feel like, especially with like the female rappers these days, like the problem is that they really think that like sex appeal is their number one go to, and it's like, okay, I can get past the body. Like, what the fuck are you saying, bitch? See, at least in the '90s, when you had the different superstars that was out there, you knew that you was attracted to them, but you also knew that they could rap and sing. You understand? Say what you want. There are a lot of people, a lot of them will sit up there and make up that argument about, oh, someone like Lil Kim. I said, but again, Lil Kim had a flow. Let's really be real about that. She had flow. So you wanted to listen to a Lil Kim song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Lil Kim. It was Lil Kim, Eve, Trina. Who else was hot back then?
We had Foxy Brown.
Right.
Lil Chad 36 Mafia, Gangsta Boo, rest in peace.
Gangsta Boo, rest in peace. Right.
We had a million. Even though I ain't gonna
Remy
lie,
Ma.
like a dude. Remy. Yep.
Yeah, you had Remy Ma. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like you had, I mean, even let's really be real. Left Eye, from fucking Left Eye, man. Like
TLC. Yep.
TLC. You feel what I'm saying? The thing about it is the Brat. But was we really attracted to the Brat? I mean, fellas, were we really?
Yes, they were. Because
okay, wait. You know what?
2000s the Brat.
Wait, hold on. Wait. All right. It is true.
She dressed out like a female. Hell yeah, she was sexy as fuck.
When she went ahead, she started dressing in a fucking like one of the more of that feminine shit. I was like, damn.
Didn't know she looked like that.
Damn, I was sitting there like, shut. I didn't even know because you thought the Brat was just one of those like the butchers like tomboy butch. You know what I'm saying?
I remember she came out with that song. How do you like it by Tyrese? And she came out. She was in a swimsuit. Boy, look, me. I couldn't tell you how many times I rewinded. I recorded that bitch and I rewinded just for the fucking swimsuit part. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, who didn't do that when they were young? I did.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. What the fuck? Oh my god. Like, yes.
Yeah, man. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, those women back then, at least with that, the Brat, you just like, damn, I'm so used to being as a tomboy. So when she come out and she start dressing like that, you like, oh shit. And she could fucking rap. These days, it feels like
them curves that she had though, boy.
Yeah, them curves, bro. Because she was always wearing baggy shit. So when she wasn't wearing baggy, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I was like, god damn.
So where you behind that?
What's behind that motherfucking baggy jeans?
Hold on. I'm gonna have to sit there and tell y'all something. So about me and Exile, right? Whenever I used to hang around Exile when I was younger, I was always wearing baggy clothes too. Now, mind you, this is after the Brat came out with Tyrese and shit. And so this is back when we were kids. He would always sit there and be like, I know what you look like under there. Nigga, no, you don't. And come to find out, I remember the day we actually kind of started dating, and he was like, yep. That's exactly. I knew what you look like underneath all them baggy clothes.
See you exiled. You was on the hunt, son.
I mean, let him tell you.
I never let the tomboy look bother me, bro.
You knew what it was. It was like, that don't change shit. I'm just like, I know what I want.
Hey, it worked in my favor because then when she was dressing like a female and everybody was looking at her like, damn, she's sexy little motherfucker. Yeah. And y'all get no play because y'all used to talk bad about her.
See, don't you know that? It's like the dudes that scope out the girls that they don't think. It'd be like, yo, you missing out, son. Because I see it. And you don't. It's like, nah, son, how you get that? It's like, I put in work, bro. You didn't. But real quick, I just want to say this. I feel like with the female rappers nowadays, specifically that, right? The problem with them that I'm having is that they're leading they're thinking that they're leading by sex appeal. And it's like, no, it's just tacky and trash.
No,
Because
I mean,
you,
men will look at you for what the fuck they see in front of them
yeah,
visually, but man, you gonna tarnish your reputation so bad. Good luck getting a good man at the end of your life.
but
Good
it's
luck with that.
oversaturation though, bro. Like, that's what I mean. Like, okay, for instance, Ice Spice.
No, no, no.
I'm,
It's
wait,
not
it
oversaturation with
is.
all of them. No, that sexy red bitch got a sex tape out there. That she was very aware
Yeah,
of what she was doing.
she was doing the Guac Guac 4000, bro. Like, you know, and just taking
And
it.
she got a video of her getting it beat in too.
Yeah, I've seen that. What I'm saying is, for example, Sexy Red, Ice Spice. Who else right now? I mean, look, who's the other chick? Fucking, she used to call us
Gold
mulatto.
in love with her no ass having self.
And what was her name? Fucking Angel starts with an A. I forgot. And then there's another rapper named Stunner Sandy. It's like, all right, I ain't
Well,
gonna
no,
lie.
Bronze, I know what you're trying to say. You sitting there trying to say, honestly, these women should come with something other than just sex appeal. Because let's keep it a whole being. Now, all of them were sexy, and then with a lot of them, that's not all people want to fucking hear. But I'm gonna sit there and counter your argument with this. We also have to remember, this is the industry. Okay, the industry they are specifically designed now. Okay, back then we were able to sit there and have a whole lot of say in the industry on what was given to, you know, melanated peoples, you know what I mean, in the form of audio. Right now it's a matter of they're sitting here and trying to monopolize on it, and one part of that monopolization is making sure that they have shit that is catered to filling up their prisons and polluting their mind. They don't want another revolution. That's what they've always been afraid of. Revolution means that we get on top, they on bottom, and we do everything that they've done to us, even if we have more compassion, and we ain't gonna sit there and do that because honestly it's a waste of our time. We rather just eliminate them instead of playing with them, right? But at the ends of the day, that's the industry. Now they have to sit there and go on contract and sit there and say, you know what, this is what I'm gonna put out. This is gonna be the way I present. This is gonna be the way I'm dressed, the way I'm treated. And if I have to sit there and deal with bullshit, I'm willing to eat my bullshit, you know, until XYZ, not realizing, because especially when you're dealing with young minds that are already somewhat polluted, hence the whole Diddy bullshit, right?
Right.
But whenever we're dealing with moldable minds, and you can persuade them that this is a great idea because it's going to give them everything they want now. A lot of these young people aren't looking at longevity. They're not looking into the future. They're not looking at, you know, the aspect of, okay, when I become a parent, sooner or later, my kid is going to see this, or somebody's going to tell my kid about this. How do I defend it? They're not looking at, okay, well, maybe I might be able to find the person that is right for me. So how am I going to be able to express or explain or defend this whenever my significant other, be it a woman or a man, comes around and they decide that they want to join their energies with mine? Because that also means you're joining your karma as well. And you know, when I say karma, let me emphasize, you are joining the consequences of previous actions into that relationship in one form or another. They're not thinking about that. They just thinking about, oh, well, I got these titties, I got this ass. Oh, you know what? You know you want to fuck, baby. Not everything want to fuck you. I mean, let's keep it a whole being. I wouldn't fuck half of these bitches with another nigga dick. I wouldn't. But
I
this is
seen a video where one of them rap motherfuckers put it plain and simple. He said, y'all thought that whole culture shit was all cool and what it was till a real hoe showed up.
right.
And he was talking about Sexy Red.
Yep. And then everybody get mad because a real hoe was doing what the fuck a real hoe was doing. But y'all literally opened the door and y'all made a banquet for her to be able to do exactly that.
Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe.
Right. All that kind of shit. So it's just like, you know, I don't really care for the culture. I mean, shit, that's not even the music that I listen to because of the level of frequency that I honestly put somebody on. I don't
Honestly,
want to have to
yeah.
sit there and deal with my fucking root chakra all day or all night. Shit, I got a husband. He can break my back all day long. I mean, I can sit there and work that energy out, but that don't mean that's where the fuck I want to stay, right? So I want to be able to sit there and get into a mindset of the India Iries. I want to be able to get into like the meditation state of, let's say, beautiful chorus, or some cool ass shit like that. And yes, I did not put Erica Badu with some of that because a lot of people don't understand that, baby. Look, that's spell work. Now, once again, as far as I'm concerned, spell work isn't exactly bad because once again, it really is based off of intuition. But I also don't want to have to go through really hoping and praying to whatever God anybody serves as to if the intentions are pure in my benefit or are they low-key pure in my demise as long as it benefits someone else. Does that make sense? So, I
Yeah, that makes
mean,
sense.
yes,
Yeah.
I listen for educational reasons. I don't listen for meditation reasons, if that makes sense.
No,
So,
I get that. I think again, like, am I gonna try to front like I don't want to see some sexual shit
of
and
course we
sometimes like
do.
that? Of course I do. Like
Yeah.
you know who I like. I'm gonna keep it real. You know who I like? Just they styling their aura. Doja Cat. I like Doja Cat's music. I proudly will say that. Like I like Doja Cat. And the thing about it is, yeah, she got the song like "Bitch, I'm a Cow," "Moo," and then have these other songs, and then she'll have some song that you really fuck with, like "Streets." You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. It's not the fact of the matter that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
those is very diverse. She could do
she's that,
rap,
and that's
R and
the shit.
B, pop music. She can
That's
do
what I'm
all that shit.
talking about, bro. And stuff like that, bro. I like seeing shit like that. And like I said, I ain't trying to deny it like, yo, you can't rap about that or be like the rap police. I get it, bro. It's different generations. But what I'm
who's that
saying
rapper
is,
whose name is with a K? They had the commandments. I can't remember her name now.
okay,
Yeah, my husband knows what I'm talking about. Um,
uh, look it up real quick. Let me know.
hold on, I'm
Um,
gonna have to give me a second.
all I'm saying is like, so I'm like, I'm not trying to complain, but I guess I am complaining. Let me be real. I'm just saying, it's like for me, it's just like, yo, bro, like bring that shit where there's that diversity shit. Like, you got too many female rappers that's doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I feel like there's a lot of corniness in that shit, bro. Like, I just saw a women's cipher like 2 weeks ago, and I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
I know you from the East Coast, but I miss my Marvelous. I miss my Sugar T. I miss Mia X. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with
Female
that, bro.
rappers that rapped about shit other than motherfucking sex.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not, and I'm saying again, I don't mind if it's just a little bit of that. All I'm saying is a little bit of diversity in that shit. You feel me? I ain't telling people to get on some Lauren Hill shit, some da 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 da, this, that, and third. I'm not asking for them to
Yeah, as
do
a
that.
female, you could have a couple tracks like that, but don't make your whole motherfucking CD of that shit. That
Yeah,
shit
it's
is
like
unattractive.
catalog, and especially like someone like Ice Spice. One of her albums wound up flopping because it wasn't about shit. And that's what I mean. It's like, okay, all we know you for is twerking. You know what I mean? Like you some small little chick from the Bronx. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like that's what I mean, son. Like, where's the little bit of diversity in that shit? That's all I'm saying. Because this is a point that I made about music as well. I was talking to a friend about this like last week. What I was saying was the problem with these artists of today is that they're doing it for a fad. They're not doing it for longevity. The same thing with the fucking YouTube thing. There's certain cats on here that hop on, think that they're gonna get like 1,000 subscribers and all this other stuff, and be like, "Oh yeah, we just gonna review pop the balloon." Some of y'all, and I'm not trying to knock it. Some of them don't want to have a longevity where they want to look back on your vids in the future. Like, you know what I mean? They're just like, yo, I'm gonna make this content about pop the balloon because it's
No,
popping.
hey,
You know?
how about this new rapper you heard of? She's from the East Coast, Scarlet.
Yeah,
She pretty
Scarlet.
dope.
Yeah, I've heard about Scarlett. Back the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
up. Move the fuck back.
She pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Because she don't be too focused on that thought shit.
You don't. And look, listen to the thing. Like, I hope, I feel like she's not getting enough shine. And I said I like
She
Scarlett.
ain't. She ain't.
She's not getting enough shine. And I said I like Scarlett. And I said I wanna see her fucking career grow. And that's what I mean. It's just like, yo, give us a little bit of that, you know, show me you can rap them bars, but you still sexy with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, I like Cash Doll.
Cash Doll I heard of.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
cash
I
dope.
like. Yeah, I like some of her shit. She honestly give you real life experiences, and it ain't always about fucking. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
ain't always about. Don't get me wrong. She's very attractive, and she's. I mean, in the last video, she's pregnant, but I mean, you know, shit happens and time moves on. But I mean, even with that, you know, it's a matter of okay, you know what? Hey, this is what I did to get here. Yeah, whenever you get here, you're gonna have to deal with some people that are gonna see you like this. It's up to you whether you choose to stay there or whether you choose to move the fuck around. You know what I mean? Like she give you real fucking spit while still kind of treading that line to where the industry will still front her shit. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like that's all I'm saying when it comes to music. I just get really annoyed because I'm also a musician somehow, yeah? And the thing about it is that with the classic saying we always say, I'm sensitive about my shit. You
Right,
know what I mean? So
right.
it's like, you know, I give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because if you in it, it's just like this YouTube shit. I give a fuck. Because I'm a fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking content creator. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense for me to be like, yo, I give a fuck about this shit, bro. Like,
You
you know?
supposed
And it's like, yo, don't try to ride the wave. I mean, I understand ride the wave because you want to, but like, you ain't looking at for the bigger picture. But I think, like, let's take it to content. I say, yo, I want people to look back at the Brownstone Powwow 10 years from now and just be like, oh shit, that dude Bronzebird and the videos he was dropping jewels, or yo, the shorts that he put up. Damn, I never knew these different sites in New York. You know what I mean? Like, it's all a
right.
reason because you put that craft into that shit. And you was right about talking about the, what is it, the root chakra. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, a lot of people don't be understanding frequencies and you don't be understanding that whole entire thing about when it comes to your chakras. They believe, oh, y'all very spiritual miracle, and this, that, and the third. I said, no. If CIA documents is
Right.
classifying, you can even move into dimensions. It's real.
I have all of it. Those Monroe Institute, all of those recordings, I have all of it. I'm just gonna sit there and say this: they will only sit there and disclose to you up to the seven. I want to say there is. I want to say there's numbers to the groups, and they will only go up to a group of 7. Well, I have 8 and 9. So. And with that, those frequencies and shit that let you do shit, oh yeah. Like when you get to 8, 9, and no, I'm not sitting there telling nobody because y'all gonna have to pay as much as I motherfucking did. Okay. Shit, at least half price, goddamn it. But with those, I'll just say there's a reason people say the watchers are real.
You said the what is real?
The watchers.
Oh, the watches is definitely real.
Yeah. Well, you get a whole different kind of experience there. So I mean, you might be able to put some things together, but yeah, that's why they've actually fucked around and actually done some shit. And with all those recordings, yeah, that'll allow you to sit there and go into those meditative states. These are the ones I will talk about. Yes, they do have remote viewing. Yes, they do have where you can actually learn how to what do they call that? Damn. Hold on, because my son is in the background. He's kind of distracting me. Become a medium. You know, they do have certain shit where you can actually do certain shit. You can communicate with certain things. But here's the thing. A lot of people want a handout. They want everything already created, processed, produced, and perfected before it goes to them, right? So whenever you tell them that you may have this experience, this is exactly what they're assuming that they're going to get. They don't want to use their imagination anymore. They don't want to use their mind. They really don't. They want it fucking child fed to them. And whenever I'm gonna tell y'all this, if y'all have never done it, y'all can look most of them up on YouTube. They cool. The reason that I paid for mine is because I paid for some shit that you're not gonna get on YouTube. And even if I try to put it up, they will sit there and cancel all of my shit and take it down. Why? Because they've actually done it to multiple people who have actually attempted to put up the aspect that they don't want up. They really do monitor this motherfucker a lot more than people know. They just really don't give a fuck about what a lot of the little people got to say because it ain't got that shit on there, right? But it does allow you to do all of those things. Like for people that sat there and saw Stranger Things, everything that L could do, yes, it will literally, you can do that shit. Like for real. You can sit there and go through some of the tapes, sit there and listen to them, understand, following instructions. And then when you wake up, you will be able to sit there and have access to certain aspects of your brain to where you can do some shit. But when it gets up to the top of the top of the top of the top.
Slow down. Because currently, when you said that, talk about like you could do certain stuff with the brain. Honestly.
What you want to know, little bro?
I need to, because I really do want to study it. So I don't want to sit here and say, well, what do you know? Blah, blah, blah. Because I do want to study it. Like, seriously. Because I believe.
I can send you links right now.
Yeah, please send me links. Because honestly, I'm serious. Because it's like psychological, like, it fascinates me, like, psychological things, right? Even this whole YouTube shit. Let's break it down like this. Me being a troll is not me being a troll for the fact of the matter, like, oh, I'm just being a troll because I just want to piss somebody off. Me being a troll is that I'm trying to understand people's interactions via YouTube. Because I'm just interested, like, okay, what made you and what poised you to want to say what you said or do what you did? You understand? Like that's the reason. Like I also, it's not even just trolling; it's just analyzing. So when it comes to the brain power, I'm like, okay, well, on a daily basis, us as humans, right? We're constantly in this mode where it's just like if we have a routine, our brain picks up on that. If we're supposed to do something, our brain picks up on that. Like our minds is fascinating, and like you could really, it's like this. It's crazy because I believe you can read people's minds or read that they was in a situation and you don't know the motherfucker.
You can, and it's actually a lot easier than you think.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I really want to study. Because I find that shit fascinating. It's like, how the fuck did you know that? Or da-da-da-da-da. You read certain things. That's why I believe that intuition shit is real. Why would you? This is the thing. When you have that self-conversation, or you have that intuition, or I guess, or that it or that ego that speaks to you. For example, Bronzebird, you know you done fucked up, right? The other side of you tries to deny that you fucked up. He's like, nah, I didn't fuck up. What you talking about? And then Bronzebird, they be like, Bronzebird, you know you bullshitting, right? And be like, no, I'm not. They said, that's the problem. It just be that war inside of itself, which could be a root cause for depression.
It actually is.
It is.
For the feeling of being overwhelmed. It actually is. And the main reason why is because people get so used to lying to themselves. And that, you know, after a while, well, let me break it down like this. Bronzebird, if I sat there and I came on your paddle like every day and I was cool, and then I started, you know, pulling some of your ghosts, you know, your guests' tactics. Oh my God, you're lying. And then if you sat there and whenever you sat there, it was like, bro, how am I lying, right? And then I sit there and I give you a whole slew of lies that I'm giving to you. After a while, you're not really gonna want to have me on your panel, right?
You're gonna be annoyed with your ass. I'm like, right.
Because you already know it's a motherfucking lie. You already know what the fuck is gonna come and stuff like this. People fail to realize that from the moment that we wake up, or from the moment that our eyes are open and our brains are working to be able to configure what it is that we're experiencing, right? That is everything is going into our subconscious. We have every fucking memory, but as well as having every fucking memory, we have a spirit, we have a soul, right? So there's that aspect of us that we can communicate with. And whenever you sit there and you're trying to consistently lie to it, it's irritated as fuck with you. Here's the only difference. It can't go outside of you.
Nope.
It can't talk to me. It can't talk to Xiled. It can't talk to your moms, your boyfriends, your lady. It can't talk to your kids. The only motherfucker it can talk to is you. Now, if you know you be lying to this motherfucker nonstop, and the only motherfucker it can talk to you is you, yeah, it's gonna be irritated and annoyed as fuck, right?
Right.
After a while, it's going to start exhibiting emotions because through the lies, you're not allowing it to be able to process the shit it needs to process so that you guys can grow. We can say that's the emotional aspect of you, but it's really not. But that's a lot of times when people don't want to deal with shit, don't want to face shit. Once again, they sitting there lying, they don't want to actually face the truth, etc., etc. That is the aspect of them that holds on to that shit, because that shit don't just go away. And for the record, yeah, time don't release that shit either. Processing it does. And when you still hold on to that shit, if you've ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, like you was about to blow your fucking lid, all of those are because there's been so much bullshit that you refuse to process. You refuse to put yourself into the space to process it. Right here. I give you a perfect example real quick right now. I'm just going to sit there and do a little exercise. We got people in the chat. We got people on the panel. Just a real quick little exercise. If you can, because if y'all can't do it, don't do it. But don't sit there and tell me you can't, because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to read y'all for Phil. So if you can, close your eyes, envision yourself. Okay. Then what you do is, out of nowhere, it don't matter what the background looks like. If you all have the ability to change the background or whatever the fuck y'all want, that's gonna sit there and fit this. Afterwards, y'all sit there and tell yourself, if they need to blow the fuck up, let them do it however they're gonna do it. They can smash shit, they can sit there and light the world on fire, they can, they can scream, they can shout, they can fight, they can hit, they can do all that shit. Give yourself about 5 minutes to let the internalized version of you do all that shit. Let all that shit go. Blow the fuck up, right? Whenever you're done, and this is also going to say a whole lot about you as well. Whenever you're done, go up there and hug that internal person. And sit there and let them, let them know, hey, you know what? I got you. I'm here. A lot of that was me. Own your shit. A lot of that was me. I'm sorry. But now that I'm here and I know how to meet you at any time, I ain't going to sit there and let you be on the back burner or, a forethought anymore.
Yeah.
Give yourself 5 minutes. See how that shit make you feel afterwards. Oh, and if your body starts reacting, like if your body starts feeling like it wants to cry, it wants to be upset, allow that shit to happen. Because even though you allowing it to happen in the moment, I promise you, all that motherfucker, you ain't gonna sit there and feel like you overwhelmed no more. You ain't gonna feel like you want to blow up. You ain't gonna feel like none of that shit. Try it out. And then y'all sit there and tell me in the chat if I was right or not.
Yeah. And to add on to that point, I think the problem we have on a mental aspect is that we're thinking too much, right?
No.
Why you say no?
Not really thinking too much, because thinking honestly is just a form of trying to process. And the more bullshit you get, like, the shit that's going on with the world right now, the more we need to process. So it's not really thinking too much. What it is separating the thoughts from our feelings.
Okay. I agree with that. And so, okay. So I think you know what it is also? I think we need to give ourselves credit more. Because if you feel like you didn't do something, you'll be quick to beat yourself up and say, oh, I didn't do it. But the thing about it is that pressure comes out action. You feel what I'm saying? So I've always believed, like, okay, because last year you couldn't tell me shit. I was down and out, didn't feel like being bothered with people. I was like, fuck everybody, right? And I just like, fuck. But then when I put myself into a new mode and I'm like, yo, it is what it is. Even if I did fuck up, or if let's say for instance, I'd had like several tasks that I was supposed to do today,
Right.
and I did at least 3, I'd be like, at least I did something instead of not doing shit at all, right? And even if I didn't do anything at all, I allowed my body to say, well, maybe it just wasn't the day for it. I'll come to it tomorrow. My only exercise with myself is in my real life is like battling procrastination. That's all it is. Because that procrastination is enlightened by fear. Because you feel like the results that you're gonna get is not what you think is gonna be. And it's like, as long as you do it, who gives a fuck? Like that's what I'm living on at this point in my life. Like, yo, as long as I do it, who cares? It's
Right.
me. You're the only person you're the only person who's holding himself back. Nobody else is holding you back. You holding yourself back. You go out there and you make the moves. No one should have to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So it's that mental list I have in my head where I'm just like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna X off these different things to make sure I'm good and blah blah blah, stuff like that. Like, it's amazing. And that's why I say with the brain, I really do want to study the brain because there's a lot more shit I need to learn because that also helps me learn myself.
Oh, you can literally get books on psychology and just read those. Honestly, it'll be amazing. And you'll be able to pick up on other things. But I'm gonna say yes is those things, but it's also something else. A lot of that is inner judgment, inner ridicule, inner self-abuse, inner self-harm, and all those other things. And people don't realize how hard they are on themselves. I do agree with you, but here's the reason why. I think the other thing we need to talk about is people don't allow themselves to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say rest, I'm not talking about going to sleep. I'm talking about giving yourself a fucking break. Yes, the world can be crashing down all over you. Bitch, I still say get a lighter, light your blunt, smoke that bitch, hit that bitch a few times, woo-saw, because once again, you freaking out is not gonna fix shit at the moment. You sitting here spazzing out ain't gonna fix shit at the moment. You sitting here and trying to come up with a game plan, the only way you'll be able to do that is if your mind is in a state of peace so it can actually work efficiently. Because working via survival mode versus working in a place of calm to whether you can actually gather your thoughts, it hits different. So I don't think people allow themselves to get a break, especially melanated people. And I think that's something that we need to work on. We've always been taught so strongly that, you know, it's a survival world out there. It's dog eat dog and this, and that. And even with the ideology, it's not giving you a time or a space or a moment to take a fucking breath.
Right.
And to be able to look back at shit and analyze it from an entire spectrum versus a spec that you feel like you're involved in at that one moment, right? And if we understand that this is part of the plan that's meant to break us down, and here I'm gonna say it like this so maybe people can understand it better. We had that movie, what was it, Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Where we had Freddy Krueger. When I sit there and I ask, matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and continue on because it's a point I'm making. What was the scariest part about that entire movie?
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen it. So
Freddy Krueger. All of them. Like the main premise of the movie. What is the scariest part about the main premise of the movie?
No, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay. A lot of people would sit there and say the scariest part is Freddy Krueger. No, it's not. The scariest part of it is sleep deprivation. A lot of people don't even understand what that is. That is, if your body does not get enough rest, so that way it can recalibrate itself, it can reset itself, it will begin to break down. AKA, if you have a nightmare that's coming after you and you're trying not to sleep and you're doing all those things like they were doing back then, drinking Coca-Cola, sitting there trying to mix it with coffee, sitting there and trying to drink caffeine pills, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, I did say drink them because they were sitting there and smashing them up and they were drinking. They weren't snorting them. Anyway, you know, whenever you're doing that, that is forcing your body to break down in such a way that even when you sleep, it cannot heal itself.
True
Okay?
that.
So if your mind is already this strong to save you, even in a dream, right? Regardless of how scary the dream would be, because let's keep it a whole being. For those who are Freddy Krueger fans, Freddy Krueger will go in, he would be able to, you know, scare you enough, but after so many dreams, he had enough energy to be able to come in and actually affect you. That means if he touched you, it would actually appear on your real skin. If y'all all notice, and y'all can go back and rewatch if y'all like, that was never the first or the second dream. This had to be a repeated cycle, right? To where now these people have been trying to stay up. They are so perplexed at what it is that they dreamed. And now they are also so afraid that they're now trying to stay up, which is also weakening the body's, you know, the body's ability to heal. And it never dawns on them, I might not like this dream. But if I have this dream, I'll be able to sit there and get out of it instead of sitting there and having so much fear. And don't get me wrong, I understand it's scary. You got somebody that's sitting there trying to ixnay you. Okay, I get it. It's scary.
Yeah.
But what it was is that he was wearing them down on a mental level so that they would be worn down on a physical level. If they're worn down on a physical level, you are easier to pick off. Now, let me sit there and put this in a way that we understand. If our melanated people cannot learn to sit back and rest, which initially is what we're supposed to be doing now. So I bet not see none of y'all motherfuckers at nothing on no April 6th. Nothing. We're going to be staying at home. We're going to be doing our dances. We're going to be sitting there smoking our blunts. We're going to be watching our shows. We are not getting on no motherfucking nothing. We ain't getting in no motherfucking, we not rallying. We ain't talking to them motherfuckers. We not marching. We ain't doing a goddamn thing. We're going to be on motherfucking TikTok and Red Note, goddamn it.
Wait, but what's so important about April 6th though?
Because they're sitting here and trying to have a march and a rally to sit there and go against their POTUS.
It's like, can we give that up, please? Like,
no. Hold on, wait. Melanated people ain't doing shit. This is the white people fixing their own shit.
But that's the thing, and it's not that we give a shit, right? Because we understand what's going on. That's literally placed in that's white people shit. One thing about it is, you want to keep going at the fucking POTUS, and it's like he's been inaugurated already.
Well, no. I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But what we as melanated people are supposed to be doing right now is that we're supposed to be resting, so that our bodies can truly begin to heal themselves, because there's been so long that we've been pushing so hard that we have not given ourselves a chance to rest. And honestly, even after watching that movie and understanding the way I've broken it down, they feel that, well, you know, it's been seen that it seems like we're easier to pick off because we're a bit more irritated, agitated, things of this nature, because we have not gotten rest. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, however you want to say it, we have not gotten our rest. So what we need to do right now is that we need to rest. We need to recuperate. All right. We need to regenerate, because we the only ones that can really do it. Let's keep it a whole being. Right.
Right.
So with that being said, whatever the fuck is going on outside of that is going on outside of that. That ain't got shit to do with us. We need to sit there and do our woosahs, recuperate, sit there and get our bodies right, because at the end of the day, that's what we need to do.
And it's the season for it.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
We currently in a season of rebirth, and
exactly.
And that's why I was saying it's very important. Last stream I call it Happy New Year, because this is the new year.
Exactly.
Ain't no New Year in January and February.
Hell no.
That's an extension of 2024. Now it's 2025.
And when it comes to the seasons, a lot of people sit there and they say, you know, that winter is actually the season of death. It's not. Actually, that is the season of gestation. For those who don't understand what that word is, gestation is, I will use a pregnant woman, right? Whenever a woman finds out she's pregnant, from the moment she finds out she's pregnant to the moment that baby is ready to pop, that's gestation. It's regrowth. This is why in our new year, aka the spring equinox, usually March 21st to March 25th, this is why you began to see the trees having, bulbs, or they have colored leaves, because they've already went through the pregnancy phase and now this is the rebirth of their baby, right? A lot of people say this is rebirth. This is exactly that, but people fail to realize that you have to go through gestation first. You have to go through the pregnancy process. You don't just sit there and go to sleep or go in a cave and then all of a sudden, ta-da, a baby's here. There's a process, right? Just like a woman, she has to go through a 9-month process. But this is also why the world slows down and it quiets down, so that you can rest and you can allow your body to create, aka go through the gestational period. It's creating, it's forming. So your ideas, your fantasies, your desires, they're creating legs, arms, they are creating a head, they are creating its sentience, its being. They're creating all of these things. So now whenever they are actually put into action, or they are now fruitful, which is like one of the apps that I'm making, right? I only have a few more things to do on it, and then I can go ahead and release it to the world. But until then, this is my gestational period, because I'm still in the process of creating until the moment I decide to release my baby to the world. It doesn't have to be a physical baby. It can be anything. It can be a relationship. It can be an actual child. It can be an idea. It can be, you learning a new skill so you can sit there and get a better job. It can be any of that shit. Anything.
And that's why I say, because people love to sit up there and bring up that whole entire thing from the Bible, be fruitful and multiply, and try to relate it to just creation of a child.
They don't understand what that means.
That they don't understand what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give birth to a child. It means that you have to give birth to whatever the talents is that the Most High gave you.
So this can be an idea, a mission, an inspiration. Hell, this can be art. This can be music. This can be a dance. This can be anything. For me, it's a couple of apps.
And that's the thing people tend to forget. It's like, yo, look, listen. If it came on your mind for a reason. Because if it didn't, it wouldn't be there. That's what we call a fucking download. You know what I'm saying? So when you are offered that download, use it. As long as you get it done and you put it out, that's all that matters. Because you have no idea the impact you can make off of that download.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people just so wrapped up in using these fucking Bible scriptures to basically say, well, this is literally what God said. No, that's not what it meant. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people, and especially that. I fucking hate when they come to me and they talk about bronze. Well, they'll sit up there and try to relate to me like, "Oh, Brownsburg is about be fruitful and multiply. You need to have kids." I said, "That's not what the fuck it means, goofy."
Hold on, how's it gonna mean that and half of y'all motherfuckers having kids can't even take care of y'all kids?
You feel me? Like
you're gonna be fruitful and multiply. You're also supposed to, in part of being fruitful, that means that you have to nourish the seeds and you have to nourish the fruit, even once it's here, because the last thing you want is a rotted tree with rotted fruit. And if all you're gonna do is sit there and try to bust nuts and you're not investing anything into said fruit, what do you think is gonna happen? I mean, they had a whole movie about it. Didn't they have motherfucking Snow White, where there was a queen that sat there and got a perfectly beautiful apple on the outside and that motherfucker was rotted to the core?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, you're going to have to, look, all I'm going to say is, okay, so my app, for some people, they're not going to like it. And I don't mean that as in, oh my God, they're not going to like my app. I can give a fuck less. Part of it is going to be deconstructing yourself from white supremacy in every aspect. This can be emotional, this can be religious, this can be physical, this can be internalized viewpoints. That's part of what my app is designed to do, is deconstruct people from the ideology of white supremacy. And that also means deconstructing from that book, because a lot of people don't realize, baby, that book was given to you so that they could keep you in control. Or I'm gonna just sit there and say this: if that book was really meant to help you, especially melanated people, then why would they give it to you? And why would they read that to you, especially around the same time that supposedly they didn't want niggas reading? Why would they not only give you the information, but also read it to you if it was truly meant to help you and not to benefit them? I'll wait.
But you know what the ironic part is, though? That book that they gave to the slaves
Right. Wasn't even the same one.
wasn't even the same one.
Right.
And basically they switch it around and say, well, they wanted us to know the knowledge from it, but they wanted you to teach it. They taught it their way.
Right.
But then today you're still learning it the same way that they taught you.
Mm-hmm.
Because how many of y'all is gonna dig in the crates and actually get the original book or the original Bible, or try to figure out where it is, or if there's a version of it? A lot of y'all won't.
And the thing is, y'all ain't even got to dig in the crates. All you got to do is actually go to the Smithsonian. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a beautiful melanated goddess sitting over here, you know, just dropping a few gems.
Few gems. They're gonna be like, Alyza's too woke. Alyza's. I said, no,
That's
my
okay.
sister's very knowledgeable.
Look,
You
they
can't
can
hate
call
on that.
whatever they want to.
And that's why I'm saying this is what I always say in my real life and on here. There's certain people who can't understand thresholds. So the reason you can't get along with someone, or the reason you can't understand what a certain person is saying, is because you're not at that threshold. I feel like that, you know, in my opinion, I feel like there's a universal threshold for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Certain people have certain intelligence levels that reach a certain threshold where people cannot comprehend it. You know what I mean? And so with that, they'll be like, well, that person is just weird, or blah blah blah. This, that, and third. I say, you're not at the same threshold as them. You are where you are, and it's an infinite number. Because I don't want to sit up there and say, if you at a low threshold, you just dumb. I don't want to say that. I just want to say you're not at that same frequency or threshold they are at. No, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people gotta understand.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and people just have to understand, like, this. That's the beautiful thing about this world. Because the thing about it is, there's so much shit to learn and pick up on. It's just that you goofies want to sit up there using one book or one ideology to basically say that's the standard for everyone, which is bullshit.
Well, no, they do it because it's safe. They do it because they're really, really scared. Once again, and I'm pretty sure people can relate to this. Whenever we're looking at the American populace, right? It's like I said earlier, everybody wants everything to be spoon fed to them. They don't want to think outside the box, because whenever you're thinking outside of that, it's scary because there's way too many what ifs. And the way people's minds now, after so much reprogramming, if you will, every single time somebody's thinking outside the box is always in a fear-mongering kind of way. So what that looks like is, well, what happens if this isn't this? And, you know, if this happens, but it's always in a negative way, right? This kind of goes into the brainwashing of the stuff that we see, the stuff that is entertaining, even the music that we hear in the low frequencies, et cetera, right? So a lot of people don't think of what happens if everything you knew was nothing, everything was beautiful on the other side. For some reason, that is harder to comprehend for a lot of people than having a God of a book that supposedly is supposed to be the God of love and peace, yet he's doing a whole lot of things that argue against his own words, or he's seeming very bipolar, or he's seeming like a whole lot of gods put into one. You know, a lot of people will sit there and they will stand firm on that because it's comfortable, it's convenient. They can argue against that, but God forbid they use the same gift that was given to them by their perceived God. And once again, this is not me knocking anybody else's religion or anything like that, but you know, they don't want to actually use their brain because it's too scary. And literally white supremacy has actually designed it for that way. And before I go ahead and carry on, anybody who does not like to hear that the Abrahamic religion came from white supremacy, don't argue with me, argue with the CIA. They actually have their own documents that sit there and they state that Christianity, as well as certain aspects of Catholicism, are based in white supremacy, so that they can not only be on top, but so they can remain on top. Because there was a whole lot of things that were getting, there was a whole lot of ideologies going on at a certain time, especially when it came to an establishment of land that was already pre-stolen. So in order to be able to have the backing from England, Britain, France, or any of those things, there, you know, those kings didn't run that military. The Catholic Church ran the military.
Yes,
so
they
in
did.
order for you to get backing, you had to go with their bullshit. So by all means, like I said, you know what? Y'all can argue with me. Y'all can argue with your mama. Don't. It's safer to argue with your mama. But you know what? Go to the CIA. They literally have the shit is available for you. If you want to argue it, at least get the document so that way you will have everything you need. And there is over 180 something pages, but baby, it's all very detailed and it's all very juicy so that you can actually see where they got their ideas from, where they got their stories from, where they got the ideology that we need to go ahead and make heroes and make this and make that because people are willing to follow them because they seem more relatable versus to just deal with God. Look it up.
And by the way, too, it's like when we have the conversations about us knowing these documents from the CIA, especially my favorite, when I talk about certain political figures and certain people that was involved in the civil rights movement.
Yes.
Everybody gets mad at me. They be like, "Oh, Bronzebird, like how could you say that? That's your people. That's your people." I don't give a fuck. It's real.
Truth
You know
is
what I'm saying?
true.
Truth is truth. It don't deny nobody. The first time I brought that attention about the CIA documents was real was about who? Martin Luther King
Michael.
Jr.
It's hard for me to call him
And-
Martin because once you know, Michael.
Michael, right? They got mad at me. They said, "How dare you say that?" Blah blah blah. I said he was involved with an organization that was ran with a Jew. I'm wrong.
Not only that, because you're absolutely correct, but not only that, but let's also sit there and talk about the person that actually set him up to die, which is y'all Reverend Al Sharpton.
Who's
that
a
y'all still
fucking
sitting here-
crook?
That y'all still giving money to, still sitting here and going up behind him. Oh, because he was one of it, baby. Look, he
was a fucking
he
informant.
was the
And that
motherfucking
dude,
infiltrator that set that nigga up.
that dude, and until to this day, because there's certain people who's smart enough in New York to know that Al Sharpton's full of shit. And I sit up there and I be telling these older people, I said, I don't understand what the fuck you see in Al Sharpton. He's robbing you motherfuckers blind. I said, you don't think this motherfucker is not in charge of the rezoning that's happening in Harlem right now? Because he has a center called the Nan. And now he got some white girl in there. And I said, yo, look, listen, y'all can get mad at me all y'all want. But I'm telling you, this dude is about exposure and money. Know why I know? Because Eric Garner's daughter sat up there and said he's full of shit.
Thank you.
And you still got Eric Garner's like relatives going to the Nan Center. And I'm like, bro, like why? Like, yo, that dude is a crook. And for him to know about the setups back in the 1960s, because they was gonna take Martin or Michael out anyway. Just the fact of the matter is, it was about a safety net of getting people that look just like them, aka Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson of the Rainbow Coalition, to sit up there and say that. But you didn't know Martin Luther King was full of shit. Everybody want to sit up there and talk about how dare you talk about Martin Luther King like that? Him and Coretta Scott King. Say, bro, did you not know? Did you not know this dude? Seriously, and then they'll say all day, "Oh, did you not know that you didn't know this dude was really?" It's not even the fact of the matter. He wanted the black women, all that shit. He loved white women, bro.
Right. He actually, hold on. He was married to a white woman before they sat there and forced him to divorce her to sit there and try to get with Coretta Scott. That way it would actually make it look more palatable. But not only that, here, just hit him with this question. Just like I did before, right? If Michael, or here, I'll sit there and say it for y'all. If Martin Luther King was truly the pinnacle that we believe that he was, then why is he the only one that is still being passed around to white people in Black History Month? Why? Because you know what? There's a plethora of motherfuckers that sat there and did amazing fucking things, including standing up. I don't hear nobody sitting there praising not one fucking member of the motherfucking Panthers. but they still sitting there eating from Head Start. I'm not seeing nobody that's sitting here praising not one motherfucking for Black History Month that the schools are teaching one member of the fucking Panthers, even though they were the ones that not only policed our people, but they sat there and protected our people, saved our people. They were actually our very first militia. The same thing that, you know, these people sit there and give you a plethora of names on their ends on who had the first militia and why it was important and da 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 da. So I mean, once again, if they won't give you the real deal Holyfield on back when we did have Black communities and what it actually meant to have a Black community, because there are certain aspects that you do need for an actual community, then why is it that this person is being pushed by them? Once again, if he was designed to do so many great things for us, then why are they, who he was supposedly opposing, pushing him harder than we do? There's a reason for that. There's a reason that you hear a whole lot of racist people sitting there talking about, well, you know, I like that guy. That guy said that he had a dream, and in his dream, like, Black people and white people would be together, and like they will all get along. First of all, bitch, that's not what the fuck he said.
It's not what he said.
Like, but do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain narrative that's being pushed, and if they're using him for the face, then obviously whenever he was still alive to wear the face, they were using him for some other shit.
And again, this is where, you know, especially our people will get in their feelings and get mad at you because you understand this shit was a setup.
No, they want a leader.
They want a leader so bad. Yeah, they want a leader so bad, but it's just the fact of the matter, this shit has been propagated before you, fam. Well, and it's you have all the tools and the power to move forward, but it's just like, oh, you want to just be like, well, yeah, they got to be the new leader. No. You want to worship that man as a god?
Exactly. They want a leader, they want a god, and they don't want to do it first. Now, mind you, having a leader, having a god means that if anything falls, it's almost like having parents, right? If anything bad comes of it, it's not your responsibility. He or she takes the brunt of the blow, right? This is also why we have motherfuckers sitting there talking about where's Kamala? Shit, bitch. Hopefully she's back and chilling and drinking a goddamn Mai Tai and not giving a fuck about y'all. But I digress. But you know, they always want a leader, so they can supposedly aspire to be like that leader without being that leader. Because guess what? If they start coming to sit there and try to assassinate people, who they gonna assassinate?
The leader.
Hold up. For those that didn't understand it, when when Samuel L. Jackson said in the motherfucking the fucking Super Bowl, he says, "Oh, you got your homeboys together, aka groups, aka Black coalitions, aka Black gatherings. Oh, okay, cool. That's the universal cheat code. Deduct one life. That was always the life of the leader. Always." So everybody wants a leader to follow because, one, they don't have to take the brunt of the blow. Two, they have somebody that will tell them what to do instead of using their brain to figure out how they can fucking contribute. Exactly. That's the difference. And so now this is no longer a time for you to designate a leader. This is the time for everybody to be a leader. Understand, I'm not talking about we have a whole lot of leaders that are fighting and arguing. This is not about ego. This is really about, we're all supposed to, there's not supposed to be one leader. We're supposed to have a fucking community. Everybody's the leader, right? Everybody has something valuable to sit there and contribute. It don't matter how small, how big. Everybody has something to contribute. And until you truly understand that we've been sitting there and telling y'all, you guys are important. Y'all don't have to follow anybody. Let your goddamn light shine. Matter of fact, what did they say in the Bible? Let your light shine before men that they may see your good works. And then Jesus said, and then they were sitting there talking about Jesus and glorify your Father, which is in heaven, right? Didn't Jesus also sit there and tell y'all that y'all can do the exact same shit he can do? So if that's the case, then why the fuck are y'all not allowing your own light to shine? Why are y'all waiting on another star to sit there and tell y'all to start shining? That sounds dumb as fuck.
Comfortability and not wanting to go out of that comfort
Inconvenience.
zone. Inconvenience. Yes. Yeah. And that, again, that is the problem with the modern day people. You
so, Bronze, I'm going to say one more thing. Well,
Okay.
one more and until it ends up going into something else. One more. How were y'all? How did y'all really think that y'all was gonna sit there and have a revolution or a liberation or whatever the fuck y'all wanted to call it if you all are still in a way paying and thanking the white man for giving you your comforts? Because I know a whole lot of y'all that don't want to, y'all not willing to sit there and risk y'all house, y'all car, y'all freedom, y'all kids, y'all wives. Well, I mean, let me not say wives, some of y'all significant others. Y'all not willing to risk all the amenities. Y'all not willing to risk your job that'll sit there and pay for y'all shit. Y'all not willing to risk y'all car that'll sit there and get y'all from point A to point B. Y'all not willing to risk y'all home. Y'all not willing to risk none of that shit. And why? Because, oh my God, rent is too high. Oh my God, this is too high. Once again, it's comfort and convenience. They got you right where the fuck they want you.
Yo, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, sis. It made me think about the pandemic when you just said that,
Mm-hmm.
because that was an
That's right.
ultimate test. That was an ultimate test of will you stand for what you believe in, or are you gonna be comfort just to sit up there and get the juice in order to provide a daily living that you had before you had to take the juice.
Yep. Test run.
It was a test, and it was a test run. And I sat up
Mm-hmm.
there and I told my friend that time, I sat up there and I told her, I was like, yo, I'm ready to die for this shit. Don't
Right.
nobody tell me what the fuck I gotta put in my body to move from point A to B. You can kiss
Right.
my ass. And I sat up there and had to battle these fucking jobs I was working at. And they used to be like, why don't you just take it? Why don't you just take it? Because I said, I'm not gonna take it. You can't force me to do that shit. And that is an example of sitting up there being compliant to
Mm-hmm.
that shit.
Right.
And the thing about it is, and then when you see, and it's really crazy because luckily still then, I'm like working or whatever and stuff like that, and then you just see the whole world get silent because everybody was being controlled about that shit.
Oh
And
no,
now
my
it's
favorite. Here was my favorite part because mind you, I worked in the medical industry, right?
mm-hmm,
Do you know whenever I worked in there, mind you, I understood that I was actually going to because I actually got approved for the job that I really wanted, right?
mm-hmm,
Right after the pandemic started, and they sat there and said, they were like, Alyza, well, you understand that when you come in here, you have to go ahead and get this blah 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 shot. I said, and what time would that be? Oh, well, that'll be at 12:45. Okay, ma'am, please go ahead and mark me off the list. I will not be entering. She said, what? I said, oh no, I'm not putting anything in my body. She goes, oh, well, you're gonna need that in order to get this job. I said, I'm no, I'm well informed. Thank you so much. I understand. And I'm no longer interested in the job. Oh, well, are you sure? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like when I sit there and tell you I was the candidate that they were looking for, because this woman tried to call me back 2 more times to sit there and try to persuade me. And ma'am, the only way y'all gonna get me up here is if I'm up here and there's no shot. There's nothing. I'm not putting anything in my body. I
mm-hmm.
said, ma'am, I'm very specific about what I eat. If I'm specific about what I eat, and the only thing I can do is go off of what you all tell me that is in this vial, but I don't know. There's a whole lot of random names. And even when I look up the random names, the internet isn't even informing me fully of what can be inside of this or how it plays or how it will react or the chances of how it'll react to my body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. So do you know that months later I went back for that same job? Sat there and got it. Now I'm being paid more. But guess what? Guess what? One of the things is I have the option to sit there and take that shot or the option not to take that shot, and they can't sit there and force you to do it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But in here in New York, they tried that shit and just went with the whole entire draconian wannabe laws
Mm-hmm.
and say, well, if you don't take it, you're barred from going to certain places and stuff like
Okay.
that. Now, my thing about it is, all right, cool, fine. I got all I need. I don't need to go to the movie theaters. I don't need to go out to eat. I can go to the supermarket because y'all not gonna tell me I can't go to the supermarket just because I didn't take the juice. That's what you're not gonna do.
No, they'll try.
They'll try it. But the thing about it is, I got it. I was like, I could just, and that's what happened. I was like, I was just going to the supermarket and coming back home. I was like, I
Bro,
don't need to. I don't
let,
need to be dealing with that shit.
let me hit you with this one. I got homeboys and homegirls that'll boost some shit if I want it that bad. I can just have them sit there and bring that shit to my house. Shit.
That's what I'm talking about. All it
Fuck
is
your
connection.
Amazon, baby. I get that shit within 45 minutes, my nigga. Fuck, fuck with your Amazon. Okay.
Right. So, and that's what I mean. It's like that whole entire point of control to me, it really tested out the whole entire theory. Will you conform or will you
Mm-hmm.
stand on your 10 toes and say, fuck that shit? I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I really seen people just act different. And it's just like, well, I gotta get bills paid, da 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 da. Like it really, and honestly, I'm be honest, it was a mind fuck to me because I'm just sitting there like, I'm not afraid. Like that whole entire time I'm just sitting there like I'm not afraid.
Right.
Even though I was working at that time back then with a different job, going outside and motherfuckers is banging on pots at like 7 p.m. to congratulate first responder workers.
Right.
Then you getting on the subway and ain't barely anybody on the train. The two people that's in that car looking at you crazy because you're not wearing a mask. And you just like, fuck it, I gotta get this money. I'm gonna go to work. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is you really felt like a god then. I don't know about anybody else. I'm speaking for me. I felt like a god. I said, ain't nothing stopping me from doing what the fuck I need to do and chill and going where the fuck I need to go. And that's the eccentric cheat code for life. See, I could be stressed out about so many things right now. I just don't want to.
Right.
Like I could have fucking $0 in my pocket right now, fucking cents. Last year I remember I didn't have money on me in my wallet or whatever. I left my house without no money in my pocket, right? I had to go to this event. I could have sat there and said, Bronzebird, you just stay home because you don't, you shouldn't go, blah blah blah. I said, fuck that. You know how great it is to jump that motherfucking turnstile on the MTA and get on that fucking train and not care?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go. And I made some dope ass connections. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck, bro. Everything is about living in the moment and moving, man. I don't got time to be stressed. I don't want to be stressed. I say, yo, everything in the universe already got it for me. So I don't want to. I'm not sitting up there worried about shit. I mean, yeah, obviously by human standards, of course you're going to think things and be like, oh shit, da 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 da. But I still be thinking, even subconsciously, yo, the universe got me. Well, everything I need is in store.
I have a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And H&M, this is for you too. Okay. This is if you also want to sit there and give your answer in the chat, please do. Okay, so if the Matrix were a real thing, let's say the Matrix is really a computer program. Why is it that nobody has had the sense to sit there and try to reconstruct the computer program, just adding in a little bit of flair on one side? Do you understand what that means?
Why is it that nobody? Alyza.
Huh?
You gotta break that down, Alyza.
Okay. So if we understand the Matrix is a computer program, then why has nobody used, I don't know, another computer program to sit there and try to have a breakdown in code, to add something or to take something away? I don't know, like a glitch. And that glitch could look like, I don't know, Mandela effects. That glitch could look like, I don't know, seeing certain synchronicities. That glitch could look like, I don't know, seeing certain shit like, butterflies or, certain birds that are there that shouldn't be there, or, a certain type of new created animal, etc., however that will look, right? Does it? Now, here's the thing, culture. Does the Matrix really prevent it? Because a computer system is the computer system. And if we already have AI that's able to connect to any and all other computer systems, who's to say that it can't connect to the Matrix? The only thing that would be different about the Matrix is that it was supposed to be, what do they call that? An interactive AI. So what that means is compared to what you do, it keeps going and going and going, and it keeps shifting and altering compared to support whatever decision you make. If you've ever had deja vu, that was a glitch in the system. Things of this nature, right? So my whole thing is, well, see, there we go. And that's kind of where I was getting to. Bronze, do you remember earlier what I said? The people have been reprogrammed to think that anything outside of there, you're going to have a negative response, such as agents, such as viruses, such as things that are scary, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But what if that's not the case at all? And I mean, think about it. If that's not the case, but I can convince you that it is the case, so that way you would be too afraid to even look outside. Is anybody following along?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
I am
So,
too.
Truism, what's good? Glad to see you back on the YouTube streets, cuz.
hey, true. So my whole thing is, if it's a computer system, why has nobody sat there and literally tried to break down or be able to find a way to introduce another glitch that benefits us into the system? I just literally gave y'all glitches right there. The deja vu, that's always been a glitch. Always, right? They sat there and said that it equal to black cat. What it is a glitch in a system that literally says the system is rebooting or is recalibrating, right? And whenever we look at synchronicities, that's literally coding that's given to us that we can see. We just don't understand what it is. But if you think about it, synchronicities are in numbers, right?
Yes.
Frequencies are in numbers, right?
Yep.
Everything is in fucking numbers, right?
Right.
So why wouldn't somebody just go on a computer and ask the computer or an AI, which is now becoming more and more sentient, how to be able to sit there and introduce a glitch that can benefit us?
That's a good one. And not to ignore what you're saying, because I'm thinking about when you have this talk about AI and fear of the AI and blah blah blah. Yo, how I look at life, especially when it comes to technology, let that shit benefit me. You think I'm gonna be sitting up there looking at AI like, oh nah, yo, AI is gonna take over the jobs and gonna be sitting up there having sex robots or having all this crazy shit come out. I said, fuck that. I wouldn't win, motherfucker. I said, hey, look, listen. You started off with Chat GPT. Let's dig more into what the fucking AIs is out there. And talking about the glitch in the system. If you have the jewels that's been dropped and you know it's been dropped, the fuck you gonna do about it?
Well, here's the funniest part to me about your statement, and it's not really funny. That was just me. Here's the most interesting part of that conversation, and I believe that they actually showed a little bit of it on Transformers. Everybody's now supposedly having a fear of AI. Why? Y'all been watching TVs, y'all been playing video games, y'all been sitting there having toasters, y'all been having microwaves, y'all been having fucking refrigerators, y'all been having ovens for all this time. Do y'all not realize that all of that shit, being that it has a computerized component, all of that shit is fucking AI?
Yep.
If that shit ain't killed you, then what the fuck are you afraid of?
Yep.
Y'all
I mean,
afraid of your
I
motherfucking self.
That's
Y'all
a
afraid
good
of your
point.
own mind.
but let's take it even further than that. Our cell phones.
Right. Y'all got your cell
Like
phones to y'all ear on a regular basis. Y'all literally act like y'all motherfucking jonesing for that shit. Y'all don't
uh,
even realize how addicted that shit is. And guess what?
Alexa
That shit ain't
and,
killed
and and even about Alexa, cell phones and cookies. You understand what I'm saying? That's the shit
y'all.
that pisses me off with fucking cookies. Why is it I was just at my friend's house yesterday and he's playing a playlist? I get home and I'm on my other account on YouTube and that fucking thing is showing up with the playlist or the like playlist when I get on YouTube again. It's like, yo, cookies. So to
Well, no,
add on to that point,
let me hit you with
uh,
this one. Why is
okay,
it
go
that
ahead.
whenever they're sitting here making components, they name it after shit that we deal with in our regular day life, such as cookies?
Mm. But I always want to know why did they name it cookies? If it's about
Exactly. That's what I
tracking.
was saying.
Yeah, that's the funny thing to me. Why did they name it cookies? Like,
Exactly.
what we eat cookies, but when you say cookies as an internet thing, it's about the fact of the matter they're tracking the information to suggest what is it that you're looking for as soon as you go on your laptop, desktop, cell phone, and all those different things.
Well, I'm gonna introduce another factor into this conversation. For all of those who are old enough to remember, they sat there and they were having the crop circles and all this and that. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about the circle specifically, but what they've done is that they've gone into the sky and they started videotaping, or they started taking pictures of other kind of things that looked interesting. So, are we really going to sit there and say that we're afraid of AI yet y'all don't even realize that you guys are sitting on a whole motherboard from a fucking computer system?
You heard? like,
Do y'all not realize that even this picture y'all sit there and y'all seeing now, think about it. If y'all sat there and saw it from the sky, and for those that actually make computers or that are used to sitting there fucking with the components inside of a computer, regardless of whether you're cleaning it or regardless of whether you're creating with it, do y'all not realize how similar those things look?
Yeah, and let's get into that.
But y'all afraid of AI. That's literally like a video.
Motherboard.
That's like a Sims character being afraid of the Sims game, not realizing, baby, you've been a character in that motherfucker the whole time, and obviously,
thank you.
You're
that was just in my head. That was just in my head. That was just in my head. Because seriously though, the Sims game, what is the whole point? To control a character. You know what the
build
fuck
your own family, build your own city, or whatever the fuck you do in them games.
and what is the essential thing about life? We are fucking controlled. Duh. You know what I'm saying? That's why people have to understand. And it's like, look, listen, it takes time to unlearn the learned. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even I'm still unlearning the learned. You know what I mean? But the essential part about it is recognizing what the environment is for what it is. That's that true red pill shit. Not that fucking bullshit y'all talking about, dating all day and all that shit. This is real red pill. You understand?
I mean, whenever you
red pill does expand beyond just the dating market, just self-awareness in life in general. Just saying.
But let me go ahead and break it down, even with the red pill and the people that like to be the red pillars, right? Obviously, they really didn't. You can kind of tell where their mindset was whenever they sat there and came up with the topics, because even in the movie Matrix, this nigga wasn't really worried about dating. When they sat there and they had the red woman, what was she? She was a fucking distraction. Yet, how are you gonna call yourself a red pillar and the only thing you're focusing on is the fucking distraction? You are literally doing what Morpheus told this nigga not to do. But you know what? You know, I'm just a goddess, you know, entertaining this beautiful melanated rock because I like it.
Yeah,
because my thought process kind of goes a bit beyond that. And you know, another thing, a lot of people have taken the Sims as a control. What it was actually meant was to be a simulation. And so what you were actually supposed to do is see for a moment how they respond and then be able to notice. It was supposed to give you awareness to be able to notice how you respond in your everyday life. And if they have a simulation, whose simulation are you in?
Right.
Because I mean, shit, if you're controlling them, then who's controlling you? And please don't sit there and tell me it's God. Because last time I checked, and a lot of those in the Sims game, do they have a God?
Nope. Technically, if we really talking about it, if we talk about who the God is, that's you that's playing it. Because you are the one that has the controller and sitting up there playing and moving the characters around.
So, with that being said, who the fuck is controlling you? That's the real question. Who is your player one?
Right. Who is your player one? Seriously, you gotta think about it. Well, that's why I think that's the beautiful thing about life.
Exactly,
people. Yeah, you are the God in Sims. I said, but that's what I think is the essential thing about life. The whole point about life is just understanding what the fuck it is that's going on and waking the fuck up and understanding your environment. The thing about it is, too many people be like, "Nah, man, fuck that." There's cheat codes for everything.
Everything.
You have to just figure out what the cheat codes is, fam.
You have not even that. You have to want to find it. Once again, every book of every denomination. So this is every religion. This is even non-spiritual texts, right? They all say the same shit. If you are truly looking, then you will see. You will find it. Look, if you truly want it, you will find it. Even in the Bible, it said that whenever you ask, whenever you ask for anything or whenever you pray for something, you are supposed to pray as if you already have it and that you have already obtained it. Yep. Right? So if that's the case, then why is it that you all are still looking outside of y'all instead of looking at the fucking coding that is within y'all? But, you know, a lot of people don't want to have that conversation because that actually requires people to actually think, and people are afraid of thinking. But not only that, no one also noticed that the Sims, and this might sit there and give away who created it and what the ideology was behind that. Have y'all not noticed that The Sims was also a simulation of white supremacy and the way things are? AKA, you have to get a job, you have to get a house, you have to sit there and try to find a mate, you have to sit there and have kids. And then after sitting there and trying to raise the kids while working, while doing all of this, then you also have to sit there and try to have your kids go out and sit there and repeat the same cycle. Does that not sound like the same type of bullshit that we're doing every day? And
That's
this
a
is in
fact.
white supremacy. So if it is, and once again, I'm not saying that like a bad thing. I'm just saying that as an actual fact. So with that, why is it that it hasn't dawned on anybody that at any time you can change the fucking narrative of anything? But if you don't want to change it because you don't see it, then it won't change. And they were even showing you, even without the religious aspect of it, there's still a strong enough hold to where even in a simulated reality, you're still following those rules. Break the fucking rules and create your own.
Yes. And let me say that real quick, Eliza, just on a personal aspect. Like that's literally the fucking battle that I had last year, where I was like, something is telling me that I shouldn't have to be involved with the simulation that I've been putting on for a long time, and knowing that I don't feel right when it comes to that. You feel what I'm saying? And
Um,
understanding like it's a different world that I know that I'm imagining that I want, and I know it's there. What's up, full drinking? Um, but that's the thing, and that's why I did that internal battle last year when I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to understand myself before I go out in the environment and I start having to interact with people and all these different things. What's my projective? Do I believe that I have it? Am I holding myself from back from having it? No, I'm not. I had to really do the soul work last year, and I'm
right.
so fucking grateful for that shit because I have never been happy at this point in my life. The thing about it is like, and this is what I'm saying to everybody, even on the playback. Soul work is fucking important. Y'all can sit up there and say, well, that's just spiritual shit. I believe in God and blah, blah, blah.
You can believe in God
Yo,
and still
you
do
can believe in
internalized
God and do
work.
this. Yeah, you can still believe in God and do the soul work. The soul work is about you, homie. It's that motherfucking personality that's inside your soul that you've been ignoring for the whole time. That's what the fuck it is. And people that sit out there and say, and just like, for instance, self conversations.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with self conversations. That's literally you speaking to your soul or your soul speaking to you. And
Exactly.
and people that sit up there and say, "Well, that motherfucker's weird," and da 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 da. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who have schizophrenia and this, that, and the third, but that's not the same thing as you just being that dude that might be talking to him. Well, God forbid you don't do it out in the public. I mean, whatever rocks your boat. But in the comfort of your own home, you set the
Mhm.
mood, you set the time, whatever it is, and you have that self conversation and that soul work you have to dig with inside yourself and understand what I always say is your SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I always say that shit
Yep.
because you are a fucking machine. And as a machine, you have to get working every day on yourself to be as productive as you can be to yourself and then society.
But see, look, a lot of people have already been so brainwashed that they're afraid to do that. And they don't even realize it will literally alleviate so much within yourself. But, and once again, nowhere are we sitting there saying that shit's going to be easy. It's not. There's a whole lot of people that have a whole lot of self sabotage. They sit there and they have created cycles. They have a lot of self judgment, self pain, self ridicule. And then, they also do self abuse and self damage. So the whole thing is, once again, no one's sitting there and telling y'all to negate religion. Not at all. But even with the religious aspect, the book told you. Matter of fact, Jesus, when he was on the boat talking to Peter, he sat there and told Peter, you can do everything that I can do. You just have to believe it. So why is it that we have so many people who want to quote this book but don't want to listen to what the fuck it's sitting there and fucking telling you?
Microwave
Make that shit
brains.
make sense.
Microwave brains because they take what they want to, what they take, what they think they know from it, and then try to apply it to another person as if that is the word of what was being said.
No. They take what has been regurgitated to them, because a lot of people don't even read it for comprehension. They take what is somebody else has said, and somebody's put it in a few nice words and a few jazzy sentences that get them emotionally worked up. And then they sit there and take that as gospel instead of just reading what supposedly was called the gospel for you guys. And it literally has some of the cheat codes in it. It ain't got all of them, but it has some of the cheat codes in it. It's just there's still a part of people that want to believe, no, we have to go outside. Well, okay, cool. If you guys want to go outside of yourself, that's absolutely fine. But why is it that just because you want to go outside, you literally have made yourself believe that you can't go inside too? Why can't you have both?
Yeah, why can't you have both?
Jesus sat there and told you can do both. You're a lot stronger than what you think you are. So why is it that you would still rather believe this? You would still rather believe a government that has already sat there and told you that they literally do not have you in their best interest, but you won't believe the same God or the same Son of God that is literally telling you all of these things, regardless of whether you believe everything in that Bible or not. Because look, I'm not a huge fan of religion. I'm not. I've already deconstructed myself from that, but I grew up in it and I was raised in it. And even Jesus even sat there and told you can do all of these things.
Man, I
So
was
why is it
raised
that no one
Baptist.
believes it?
Yeah,
Why is it people only want to look at, oh, well, he did miracles, baby. He told you can do them too. He sat there and turned water into wine. Guess what? We make Kool-Aid. What the fuck you think that's doing?
right.
I mean, he sat there and told you can walk on water. Yes, you can. You can literally change. You can actually say words over you and sit there and change the dynamic of the matter that you stand in. So, yes, for our first few steps, as long as you truly believe that what you said is actually going to pass and it is passing as you are saying it, then you can do the same thing. Hell, I mean, they even made fucking clear steps to where you walk on steps and it still look like you're doing what? Walking on motherfucking water. It did. He didn't sit there and say how. He just said that what they didn't say how. They just said that hey, this dude could do it, and he sat there and told you can do it too. So why aren't you doing it yet?
Because people, and then they'll take it in the literal sense to say, but you don't understand the God's miracles. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, all I'm saying to people is the world is fucking amazing. And the thing about it is, what you have to realize at this point in your life, you, Wednesday, please rotate. I don't know what that means, man. Damn, I lost my track of thought. No, I didn't. But the world is at your palms, V. And the thing about it is, you have to take advantage of that. And I just don't like, this is why last year when I did that soul work, I had to teach myself to say, Bronze, everything you want is there. Even if it's not there, it's there, waiting for you to take it. Instead of saying, man, I shouldn't have that, or nah, it's not mine, or da da da. Who the fuck said it isn't mine? I deserve it. Of course. Why don't I fucking deserve it? Why? Who says that I don't deserve it? You know what I mean? And the thing about it is sometimes, and also I'm going to say this about rejection, because this came to my mind randomly. We really, and a lot, sis, we really having a Sunday service today. I just wanted to say that real quick. But this is about rejection, and I'm not talking. I'm talking relationships, career wise, everything else. Always understand the rule that we always say: if one door closes, there's another door open, and never look at things. Don't take it personal to the sense that if you get rejected from something, it's your fault or you did something wrong. Sometimes the universe is actually shielding you from a lot of bullshit that you had to deal with when you was there and saying, I got something bigger and better for you. But you got to want that shit too. And just understand at the end of the day that this is for you and certain things is not made for you. It's custom brand for you. And so yeah, that's my TED Talks on that rejection shit, because too many people get into that whole thing.
I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. I had to sit there and talk to my daughter real quick. I didn't even hear that whole thing, so I'm sorry.
No, what I was saying, okay, just to rewind back what I was saying, I was going over the concept of rejection, whether that be a relationship, job, or whatever.
Right.
What I said at the start of it was when that door closed, there's still another door open, waiting to be
Right.
open, right? So you start off with
Absolutely.
that concept. Then you go into the deeper concept saying that sometimes if you got blocked from something or you don't deal with something or something dies, it was for a specific reason. That actually the universe was actually trying to shield you from the bullshit that you was dealing with so that it can give you something bigger and better.
It was either shielding you from some shit that you didn't see coming, or you weren't ready for whatever was actually going to come with that yet. And there's a lot more than exactly what it is you think you want at that exact time that's going to come with that, whatever it is. Like even with that job, you don't know if there was going to be, if you was going to end up having to catch a case. Let's keep it a whole being.
Right.
You don't know if, I mean, no, for real.
Nah,
Like,
seriously, yeah.
yeah. Like you don't know whether, the type of people that are going to be over you are going to sit, if they're going to end up being an opposition that might not be an individual. It might be an organizational type of thing. You never really know what it is. So a lot of people look at rejection as if they lost out and they missed out on something. And that's never really the case. It's just if you want something bad enough, then there would be not a revenue, but an avenue that is specifically created. Just like you were saying, at least the last part, that is specifically created for you to be able to get what it is that you want, but in the way that you want it. Right.
Right.
So I give y'all a perfect example. Once again, working in the field that I was working in, what I really wanted to do is that I really wanted to work in the customer service aspect of the medical field, or I wanted to work in the coding aspect of the medical field. And I ended up getting into a different aspect of it. And I was already kind of like, not really butthurt, but I was looking at it like, okay, well, you know what? Obviously there's something that I need to learn here. And I'm one of them people that I like to learn something from the inside out. So that way, whenever I do my job, I'm able to sit there and be as proficient about it as possible. But that's not really what I wanted to do. So that job it gave me time to get the inspiration that I needed to be able to create something for me so that I could go into the actual field that, once again, has nothing to do with medical, but the actual field that I really wanted to be in. But because of the medical position that I have plenty of time to also not only create my study guide, but then to complete my study guide. So that way, whenever I leave, which will be after I finish my study guide, because I'll have everything I need, I can actually transition into this position while still being able to have, not only a job, but have a job where I'm able to save souls in the last moments. Because a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people have an issue with handling death. And I thought I was going to have one really, really bad, but I've had to deal with losing 4 patients so far. And all of them have said the same thing. Anytime they look at me, they always sit there and they see a light around me. They always think I'm an angel. And I'm not talking about personality wise. This is just on a spirit level, right? And so it hits different whenever they feel like you are the piece that they needed to be able to transition. That hits different, and it makes you, it kind of just confirms that what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And then to be able to also utilize this time to also be able to study, to go into the field that I really want to go into. Yeah. I mean, once again, I had to sit there and do a rejection of not having the exact area that I wanted. But look, I wasn't put where I wanted. I was put where I was needed. And then I was able to get the inspiration to go ahead and create something that allowed me to be where I am wanted, where I want to be, on a whole nother level. So, I mean, you know what? Rejection isn't always a bad thing, but it's just people feel sad about it because they invest so much emotion into what they believe that they want. And when I say that, this can be relationships, work, platonic ships, even in the things you drive, the house you have, like any of that kind of shit, right? Anything that is a desire. If it's truly a desire, then don't you think God or the universe knows not only what you want, but the way you want it? Let me give an
Yep.
example, right? And I am going to use a relationship in this aspect. Let's say there's a woman that wants this man. Oh my God, this man is so fine. He's so this, he's so that. A lot of times we're not really thinking about the type of personality or, what their struggles have been like, or if they were strong enough to handle their struggles head on, or if they're still suppressing and holding back. We don't think about that. We just think, oh my God, this man is fine. Oh, you know what? If I were to have kids with him, oh, well, first of all, the sex would be great. And if I were to have kids with him, my kids would be so pretty. It's very much a me, me, me. But you want something else or you want somebody else, but you're not really considering all the things that come with that person.
Yep.
So, you're not considering, okay, is this person a narcissist? Is this person abusive? Is this person, like a love bomber? Is this person, somebody that's going to be, are they going to compliment me? Right? Are we going to actually be able to work together? Is this person the type of person that we can sit there and have a conversation all night and then we're both shocked whenever, even sex pops up because we've been so invested in our conversation that didn't even sit there and, come across our mind, stuff like that. Right. So for some people, because you all call it karma, we call it a karmic lesson or, the universal lesson that you have to learn. Or honestly, we can also call it the initial reflection, right? To where a lot of people sit there and get with somebody that's just like them at that time that they sat there and start the relationship. And let's be honest, we can sit there and say we good people out there. You can fool another Homo sapien. You can't fool you can't fool yourself internally. So
Right.
when you sit there and you're attracted to somebody, you're gonna get somebody that is on the same level of ain't shit as you are, but these are the aspects that you try to hide from motherfuckers.
Exactly.
You're gonna get the same type of person that is on that level of, oh, you know what, if this bitch did to me, I would do XYZ ABC 1 2 3. You're gonna get somebody that's exactly like that. The only difference is you gonna end up being the bitch that they're gonna sit there and go against.
Mm.
You're gonna get exactly the aspects that either you don't want to face, you don't want to process, or you are trying to hide from the world.
And even with that too, right? I was saying this to just real quickly off that aspect and talking about relationships. What I always say is like, when you're dealing with someone, that's you. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's like one of those
100%.
breakups and stuff like that, you gotta accept shit for what it is. Yeah, exactly. Full drinking, law
Exactly.
of
Law of
attraction.
attraction.
Law
Yep.
of attraction. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I if I ever got into a breakup, right, or I'd be like, I ain't dealing with that person no more, I just be like, I'm not gonna cry or for spilled milk. I accept what
Right.
I did in that relationship or when we was talking to each other. You feel what I'm saying? I might be like, damn, I fucked up, blah blah blah, but I accept it. I'm like, okay, it happened. Now you just move on from it and do it. And Eliza, even with that, I be so fucking annoyed because my best friends will call me and they be like, oh, Bronze, yo, this chick, and I'd be like, nigga, you mad because y'all broke up and you talking about the bitch was a hoe and stuff like that? The bitch did you a favor, bro.
Well,
Like,
well, not just that. Let's take in consideration. Whenever you were sitting there talking about the psychology of things that you want to start studying, right?
right.
Here's the whole thing. Whenever a man, and this goes for women too, but I'm going to sit there and use a man in this tactic or in this example.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a man sit there and say we broke up, and then you sit there and you start slamming insults and slurs, we can all just tell that you butt hurt because you feel like you lost something.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that exact moment, sit there and start asking them, if she came back to you right now, would you take her back? And if you would take her back, would she still be a hoe? Would she be a bitch? Would she be a cunt? Would she be all these things? And mind you, sit there and tell them no. Don't sit there and tell them what you think I want to hear. Answer completely honestly. Because a lot of times, whenever they feel like they're getting rejected, they also feel like, yeah. A lot of times, whenever people are feeling like they're getting rejected, it takes them back to a childhood aspect to where they want to sit there and go back to the schoolyard and throw insults because that's the only thing they can do. But personally, to me, I'd be like, you know what? And I've actually had girls that sat there and said, oh, well, me and so broke up. Okay, so what did you learn? What do you mean, what did I learn? Everything is a lesson.
Yep.
What did you learn? What did you learn about yourself? Not what did you learn about the other person. I don't give a fuck about the other person. I'm talking to you. What did you learn about you? Well, I didn't learn nothing about me. Or if they sit there and start telling me, well, I learned this, and then every other thing out their mouth is about what he did. Bitch, you didn't learn nothing. You learned nothing. You literally just wasted time, which means that more than likely you're going to end up repeating a cycle of this exact thing to where somebody's with you and they can sit there and seem oh so good, or even if they shitty, you know, you're going to go through the exact same cycle because obviously you're not learning anything. And if you didn't learn it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to repeat until you learn the lesson that it was meant to teach your ass.
Say that. Say that.
Once you learn that lesson, and then you take time to heal. We don't pull the sexy reds and all this other shit and try to get up under another nigga because you're not even, and I think I was touching on this earlier, you're not giving yourself a chance to breathe. You're not giving yourself a chance to reset, to relax, to go back to being you, which was supposedly what attracted supposedly a good person prior. Or if it attracted a motherfucker that ain't shit, this is once again on both sides, then that means that you need to take that time to reflect on you. What is it that attracted you to that person? What is it that attracted that person to you? Heal that shit. So this way, you ain't got to worry about being attracted to another motherfucker like this or attracting another motherfucker like this. Because guess what? Those aspects are no longer a point of view because you have sat in those, you have healed those, you have processed those, and now you have literally released those. Those are no longer an aspect of you.
Because it's all about elevation. That's what it's about.
Exactly. It's all about
elevating from the lower point to a higher point now.
Exactly. And once again, for those that are religious, your Bibles, the Qurans, the Torahs, they say the same shit. They just say it in a different way without a female voice because obviously for some reason they didn't like females because obviously they was really talking to men. You know, I used to think that the Bibles really didn't like women. And now I realize it's not that they didn't like women. It's just that they knew men were more hard-headed. So they would have to sit there and put it in a way that it was a male-dominated voice. Because a man will listen to his daddy before he listens to his mama.
Yo, honestly, because psychologically, why don't we listen to our moms? You know what I mean? I go to my mom's. Look, listen. Our moms be dropping so much jewels. I'll be sitting up there listening to my mom. I'll be like, I didn't even think about it that way. I just be listening. And
right, but let your dad repeat it, and I promise you, you'll swear to God it's more palatable. Let your dad repeat the exact same shit.
Well, dad said it, so it was like, well, wait, when mom said it, but she was dropping jewels though too.
Exactly. But you know what? For real, they always sat there and said women had natural intuition. Yes, women have natural intuition. Please understand that does not mean women use them. It just means they have them. It does not mean they use them. It's almost like men having muscles, but just because they got muscles don't mean they always use them, motherfuckers. They just got them. It's like that, right? So I couldn't say hair because, you know, some women wear weaves, some women are bald. I wasn't going to sit there and say hair, but we understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
So with that being said, yes, women have the natural intuition. Just because they have it does not mean they always use it. But women are able to hone in on things that are a bit more spiritual at the time. Hence, women being witches, which honestly is just the real slang word for wise women, just like wizard literally is a slang word for wise men. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all learn something new. But, you know, women are always, on a general scale, women have been more in tune with that intuition aspect. So these are things that they see, and women are more willing to sit there and be like, all right, you know what did I learn from this? Okay, I learned this about me. I learned that about me. Whenever they actually take a time or take a moment, or even if they're walking, their brain that has already internalized a lot of shit will also begin to process. With men, because of the way society, once again, white supremacy, has made it much harder for men and tried to take the aspect of being able to be in tune with emotions, to be able to process emotions, because mind you, we need men to be the hard worker, the soldier, the one that just takes orders, the one that doesn't question shit. They just go. You sit there. I'll put it like this: we need men to be the Hulk, and we just face them in this direction and say go. Instead of a man sitting there and saying, processing some shit and then asking questions. Hey, this doesn't make any sense. Why would they sit there and do this if this is what they're sitting there and you know what I mean? They don't want men sitting here and processing things, because if a man processes things, that means he can sit there and call out bullshit. And a lot of times, a man, due to somewhat ego, and once again, not all ego is bad, but a man will be the one that'll sit there and go to the higher spectrum of some shit and call that motherfucker out and not really give a shit, because they are the force, right? They're not gonna give a shit about what comes back, because if you know you're a motherfucking Hulk, what the fuck can touch you? Not a goddamn thing, right?
Hold your thought for a second. Let me give a shout out to Full Drinking and Half Thinking. Thank you for the $10 and the Cash App. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
But women have always been the intuitive, the ones that sit there and give knowledge, the ones that sit there and drop gems. On top of the fact that whenever a woman, is able to transport life in here, do y'all not realize that she has her entire body has to become a conduit to sit there and create a soul? Because yes, a man does help create the body. Once again, I'm not taking away from men at all, but how many men have created robots without souls?
Sheesh.
As much as y'all don't want to hear it, this doesn't make it any less true. It's the vessel of the woman that actually gives it a soul and allows it to be a sentient being. So, with that being said, this is also why, especially amongst the melanated community, we have always been a unit. Once again, and I'm going to sit there and take it back to pre-colonial Genesis. The men weren't out there by themselves. They women was right there by their side. Whenever it even came into the house niggas, men wasn't by themselves. They women was right there too. A lot of times they women was sitting there going in the house and sitting there getting food, coming out and bringing it and sneaking it out to make sure that her man stayed nourished. So no matter what bullshit was gonna come his way, he could be a motherfucking Hulk, because guess what? He sat there and had what he needed, from the Bruce Banner aspect, which would be the woman's side, right? From the Bruce Banner aspect, that would sit there and give that Hulk what it needed to. Now, mind you, in the whole Bruce Banner, or at least until that whole Hulk aspect, no one really peeped game that Bruce Banner still had compassion. He still had love. He still had inner love and this and that. He was just displeased with the Hulk. We also had a story back then that was called Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. No one realized that Hulk was a rebranding of that.
Nah.
If y'all ain't heard it, look it up. Anywho, whenever they did that, they were literally examining us, because, baby, we were the compassionate aspects, and we were able to sit there and nourish the motherfucking force. And whenever we nourished the force and they sat there and they tried to come at us, baby, they couldn't touch us. This is one of the reasons that these motherfuckers are still trying to eradicate us, and we still here.
We still
and,
here.
and they still trying to study us like a motherfucking blueprint. Still can't figure out why the fuck we still here, to such a degree that they was like, oh, well, fuck it. All we can do is sit there and take away everything from them. Because, I mean, shit, we can't kill them. They just won't fucking die.
That's why they try to dumb us down with the bullshit, so they can deactivate the fucking powers that we have and just be like, well, we got them under control because they beating themselves up or they killing themselves, so we done our job. And once forces like us, me and you, we understand the game, we understand the bullshit, we a dangerous threat to them in some type of way, because they like, how the fuck do they know that?
Baby, we always been a dangerous threat. Why do you think now they sit there and try to take everything from us? We always been a fucking blueprint. We always been a threat. They've always been sitting there and trying to study us like fucking animals. They even sat there and called us animals. Yeah, we already knew who the savages was. Yeah. They didn't understand. And here, let me break it down to y'all like this. Everything they sat there and set up in motion was literally meant to take them down. They figured it would take us down. It didn't. Let me go ahead and give you some examples. All right. So if you sit there and take a man away from the woman, we all heard of, whenever they sat there and they started having welfare and all this other shit, right? And how the man had to sit there and leave the woman, how they had to get out of the house. Let me go ahead and give y'all a scenario. back in the pre-colonial Genesis, right? This is slave days. I just don't talk slave days. I will call it the pre-colonial Genesis. Okay. So, or sorry, the post-colonial Genesis for y'all. The pre-colonial Genesis is, the actual colonizers, but the post-colonial Genesis. Do y'all not realize that if they sat there and took the man at that home and that man didn't sit there and have a woman that he could sit there and literally bust a nut in and not only to sit there and release some of his transgressions, his aggression and all this other shit, what do you think he was going to go whenever he sat there and got that liquid fuel or that alcohol in his bones and in his body? He was going to end up fucking what if he couldn't fuck a woman? And please don't say slaves. I mean women all across the diaspora. If there was no women, what would they be fucking? There was already fucking animals. They would go back to fucking other men. Even back then, they had certain secret societies and organizations where they would get together and they was butt fucking.
Oh, yeah, so, definitely. The orgies and all that shit.
Not only that, but if we sit there and look into that, they also created buck breaking. Yeah. For those who understand what buck breaking is.
They know.
Right. So, with that being said, they literally try to sit there and create this amongst the black diaspora because if it happened to them, they would be destroyed. They couldn't sit there and have their women. That means that they couldn't procreate. If they couldn't procreate, their legacies would die. So, since it would be horrible to us, let's give it to them and see how that works. We still here. We was hiding our man. We was doing this. We was still making sure our man was good. We was sitting there getting money from y'all stupid motherfuckers, and we was still sitting there and giving it to our men, making sure that our man was good, making sure that we was good. And on certain times where we already knew it wouldn't be a pop-up, oh, that man was still in that house enjoying the kids, playing with the kids, enjoying us, and sitting there and beating that pussy down.
You heard? Yo, Alyza, I'm not going to lie to you. We did a great build. But I see that dude Psych is on, and I feel like fucking trolling the shit. That individual is there that I was talking about that I dissed is on the panel right now.
All right, well, if you're gonna do it, sit there and send it. Well, shit, hubby's going to sleep. Fuck.
But if you want to watch, like, hold on, let me.
Well, no, I was gonna say send the link in the back chat. That way, after I sit there and put my babies to sleep, I might.
I don't know if I'm going to even stay there. I just want to see what the fuck is going to happen, right? So I just typed you the name in the back chat.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try to see if I can plug in and get this motherfucker real quick.
Oh, is that the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to see it because I ain't going to try to stay on because I was like, my computer is acting dumb. But yeah, I want to see it and stuff like that. So if you don't have to pull over the panel if you don't want to. I just want to see what the fuck is gonna happen. I pull up.
Well, no, I'm gonna have to close it down anyway because I gotta go and be mommy.
Yeah. I bet. So, by the way, can you send me the information and links? Anything?
Yeah. In the back chat, give me your email.
I got you. Yeah. I'm gonna do that now. All right. Because I really do want to study this shit. It'd be a good read for me this week.
Or, I mean, if not, I'll give it to my husband to sit there and give it to you in a Discord. So
there's an email, and then I connect with y'all in Discord. I gotta give y'all my Discord. Once I find it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, just
don't even know.
Yeah, just put your Discord in the back right now.
You know what's weird? How was I gonna? I don't know. I copy and paste it, but I gotta go ahead and do that. But that's my email right there in the back chat. So just send the information to me. We can find out, and then of course, any like y'all going some troll missions, I could be like, let me support the sisters as well when I got time.
He's sleeping right now, so
no, not tonight. No, not tonight. But I'm saying like, going forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, sis. All right, I'm gonna shut on down, y'all. Sis, it's always a pleasure.
Always.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shut on down, y'all. So yeah.
He about to go be petty. Yeah, we'll tell y'all about it.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. You feel me? So I'm about to be hungry.
This is the one after dark, right? Okay, and she got the stream yard up. All right, cool.
Yo, we about to be out here over there. So I'm about to do some dumb shit before I go to bed. I ain't trying to be long. I want to be 30 minutes.
Hold on. Before you go, you didn't you wasn't there about this bitch that sat there and said she was 1% Nigerian, and I ate that bitch alive.
No,
bro.
Do you got the live from that?
fucking funny. Oh my god.
You have that live? This is still on?
I have the live of me and my homie where we were sitting there and roasting the fuck out this bitch. Oh my god.
Send that in the
Yes.
mail.
She was sitting there talking about she could say the N-word because she 1% Nigerian. Bro, when I said that shit was too funny. Oh my god.
The fuck out of here.
And she was sitting there and watching the live I was on. This bitch sat there and got so butthurt in her feelings. She sat there and stopped the live. She was talking shit about the homies, but she wasn't talking shit about me. And I was the one roasting the fuck out of her. Bro, that shit was funny.
Send me that live in the mail so I can watch it because I would have laughed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have hubby send it to you when you wake up.
All right, sis. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, bye.
Peace. All right. Well, we off that. Appreciate everybody that comes to the Brownstone Powwow. Quick announcement, as I said, this Wednesday is going to be the Brownstone Powwow 4th anniversary. We're going to be live. We're going to be making a movie, and you have the chance to imitate Bronzebird. I'm going to get in my fifis, so come with your worst imitation of me, your mockery. I'm ready for it. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and we might have a pre-party on Tuesday night. I think I might do that. But shout out to everybody that was in the chat, everybody that was bird watching, everybody that was on the panel. I appreciate everybody. You guys make the Brownstone Powwow great. Shout out to all the content creators that's doing all the work, such as my homie Trent, Full Drinking, Half Thinking. Keep up the content, bro. And everybody keep doing your thing. Much love. I'm out. Peace.